682-6558 or online at copypro.net.
CopyPro, we are the professional office systems people.
Hey Pirate Nation, this is proud ECU graduate and former baseball player Brandon Manning inviting you to join my team at Farm Bureau Insurance. Right now, during hurricane season, is a good time to review your coverage with a local trusted agent like me. I will make myself available before or after business hours, and my clients always have my cell phone number if they need anything. From home, auto, or life, give me a call today and let's talk about your insurance coverage and about the Pirates. Call 531-1812 and go Pirates!
It's bow time.
The barbecue sandwich from Bojangles is back. Wait, Bojangles has barbecue?
Yeah, keep going.
Well, okay then. We're talking tender pulled pork with a tangy Carolina vinegar kick, unforgettably topped with our country coleslaw, all on perfectly toasted buns. So if you're like me and missed it last time, get your hands on a barbecue sandwich combo pronto.
It's bow time.
Do you think you might have been exposed to COVID-19? Maybe you're planning to visit parents, family, or friends. Arc Point Labs of Greenville offers same-day COVID-19 results. No referral needed. Same-day results available. Arc Point Labs of Greenville offers easy solutions to COVID-19 testing. Arc Point Labs of Greenville is located across from Vidant Hospital on Executive Circle behind Southern Bank. Call for an appointment or walk in. Arc Point Labs of Greenville, 215-5688 or arcpointlabs.com.
This is Pirate Radio, WGHB Farmville, 1250 and 92.7 FM Greenville, WDLX Washington, 930 and 104.1 FM Washington. The following is an exclusive presentation of Pirate Radio, the voice of the pirate nation. Welcome to Pirate Radio Live.
You can paint this one purple.
Now live from the Pirate Radio studios in the heart of the Pirate Nation, here is your host, Clip Brock.
Hello everyone, welcome into Pirate Radio Live on a Thursday. Clip Brock here with you on Pirate Radio 92.7 FM in Greenville, 104.1 in Washington. We're on 1250-930. We are on PR927fm.com, streaming live, and you can watch us on Facebook Live and YouTube Live. Coming up on today's show in about 15 minutes, we'll go down to Atlanta and talk to Dave Cohen. He's the play-by-play voice of the Georgia State Panthers. We'll get a Panthers preview, find out what they have to offer when ECU rolls into Atlanta on Saturday. It's a noon kickoff on ESPNU. We'll be with you 8 a.m. on the Bud Light pregame tailgate, taking you up to the kickoff, and, of course, after the game on the U.S. Cellular fifth quarter call-in show. At 3:35, we'll talk to the big man on campus, Jeff Nadu. We'll talk about tonight's, I don't know what you want to call this matchup in the NFL. It's the banged-up Broncos versus the depleted Jets on Thursday Night Football. We'll see if big man has a lean one way or the other on that. We'll get his thoughts on ECU, Georgia State, and look at the slate of games in the NFL and college football for the upcoming weekend. Stephen Igoe is here at 4 o'clock. As we will continue our coverage of ECU Georgia State. Also, we got to do our Week 4 fantasy start sit. Got a bunch of questions from folks on Twitter to get to. You can drop a question in on Facebook Live if you'd like. By the way, make sure you take your Titans and Steelers out of the lineup because that game has been postponed. So a lot of question marks when it comes to your fantasy lineups. We'll talk about that. We'll make some college football picks and talk Panthers Pirates with Igoe in the 4 o'clock hour. And Troy D is here in the 5 o'clock hour. Got some comments from Donnie Kirkpatrick and Blake Harrell from yesterday at the weekly Zoom for the OC and the DC of the Pirates. So got all that and a lot more. This one is all but over between the Braves and the Reds. Atlanta up 5-0 in the bottom of the 8th. They have exploded here in the bottom of the 8th. A couple of 2-run homers, one from Marcell Ozuna and one from Adam Duvall. Ronald Acuna has 3 hits, including an RBI double, and the Braves are putting the finishing touches on a short series here with the Reds, who have not put a run on the board yet in this entire 2-game series. They'll have one more crack at it coming up in the 9th. Coming up at 3 o'clock, or about to get underway, I should say, the White Sox and the A's. That series tied at a game apiece. Tonight at 7, it's the Cardinals on the road at San Diego trying to close out that series versus the Padres. And the Brewers will try to stay alive tonight against the Dodgers. That's at 10 o'clock on ESPN. Let's go to the Shirley Rhodes news desk and see if we have anything for today. Shirley, how you doing?
I'm doing fine. How are you?
Great. I like the Farmville Central hat. I need one of those.
School right here.
I like that.
Yeah, it's gosh, I got this probably 6-7 years ago.
I need a like a fitted flat brim with that. I like that logo though.
Yeah,
That's
I don't
sweet.
even know if they even still use this logo or not.
Throwback.
I think they've gone to a different logo.
All right. Anyway, there's your hat update for today.
Hat update for today.
What do we got on the Shirley Rose news desk?
Well, we talked about this off the air, but App State and Louisiana, of course, their game was scheduled for Wednesday of next week. That game has been postponed due to positive tests and contact tracing. It's been moved to either December 4th or 5th. We don't know which one of those dates yet, but those are the target dates.
That is a bummer because I honestly did not know we were in store for midweek football next week. So I kind of wish I didn't know this news, because now I'm more upset, because I would love a football game while we play sports trivia out at AJ's. That would have been a lot of fun. But
unfortunately that didn't work. Hawaii has paused their football activities, actually pulled everybody off the field during practice earlier today because they had positive tests pop up, so they are currently in a pause. You talked about the NFL, the Steelers-Titans game. Of course, we all know that it's been postponed. There had been some talk about possibly moving it to a Monday or a Tuesday night. They had additional positive tests come to light today, so the game has been postponed to later in the season, although a date has not yet been set for that. I imagine there might be a little bit of reshuffling going around for that. Also, The Rock texted yesterday that the XFL will relaunch in 2022.
Here we go again.
Let's
crank it up for the third time.
3.0.
Yes, that's right.
And also, congratulations to ECU kicker Jake Verity. He was listed as a semifinalist for the 2020 William P. Campbell Trophy. That is the trophy that is given to someone who shows exemplary leadership and academic success on top of everything else. It's largely considered the Heisman Trophy of academia.
Oh, wow.
So that is, he is one of 10 American players that were listed as semifinalists. So I didn't look to see when they were going to be actually announcing the finalists, which they whittle that list down to about 12 to 14 later in the season. So we'll keep tabs on that. But that's what I've got as far as news goes.
He's got the brains and the brawn, because I think he should be up there too for a Groza Award finalist.
Yeah.
We'll see, moving forward, what kind of season he has. But he has been a fantastic kicker here at ECU for a while now. When you brought up that Hawaii news, it had almost slipped my mind, Shirley, that the Mountain West was even playing this year. I'd forgotten that they were returning to football. I believe they are getting underway on the 24th of October.
Well, I know that the AP rankings, they're delaying it for an extra week. They're not going to, next week they won't put out a poll. They're going to wait an extra week to let the Big Ten and Pac-12, thank you, to allow them to get some games in before they put the rankings up, which I think is silly, but, whatever. So I'm sure that, with the Mountain West, there's going to be some more. They haven't changed as far as when they're going to make that announcement as far as who the finalists are for the playoff series. That is still set for, I think, December 20th. So they're going to do that. But as far as anything else, they're going to hold off for a week on the rankings, which is stupid in my opinion. But
and we'll go over the football card for the weekend with the big man on campus, Jeff Nadu, and Stephen Igoe later in the show. But it's a pretty good week, good games. I think beginning Friday, nobody has been able to hang with BYU yet. We'll see if Skip Holtz and Louisiana Tech can, but that's an interesting game.
And that's tomorrow night, isn't it?
That is Friday night, 9 o'clock on ESPN2. So I guess you'll have the NBA Finals on ESPN and then this football game on ESPN2.
And the WNBA finals. I know that's not,
that's a little
big deal.
off my radar.
It's off your radar, but it's definitely on mine.
It's on your radar.
Yep.
And then Saturday, looking at the SEC matchup, South Carolina, Florida. I don't know how competitive of a game that'll be. Auburn, Georgia looks really good on paper. Mississippi State, Mike Leach. What do they do for an encore against Arkansas? And let's see, Alabama A&M, the other one, that's at 3:30. Alabama, a big favorite there. So, how much are you missing Big Ten and Pac-12 football?
No.
Not a ton, to be honest with you. There's still some good football coming up this weekend, including ECU and Georgia State. And coming up in just a bit, we'll talk to Dave Cohen, the play-by-play voice of the Panthers. Yesterday, Shirley, I heard from Donnie Kirkpatrick and Blake Harrell in a Zoom, and let's go into a couple of cuts from Donnie. And look, to beat UCF, you got to play perfect. And that includes winning the turnover battle. Obviously, the Pirates did not do that. And Donnie talked about how fumbles just killed the team last week early there in that first quarter.
I think that's exactly what got us. If you would have told me that we could rush for 244 yards and have 65 yards called back on penalties, and I would have thought we'd be in the game in the fourth quarter, which was the plan. We said we have to go the full rounds to be able to beat a team, that caliber. I thought, that's what killed us was the turnovers. And I said that last week, you can't sit on the ball, but you better not lose the turnover battle. They had lost the turnover battle to Georgia Tech 5-0, and we almost duplicated that. So that was a self-fulfilling prophecy there, I guess, a little bit. But that was the most disappointing thing because, we probably hit and do ball security stuff more than anybody in the country. And so I would have thought, sometimes in the first games you're worried about that because kids haven't been hit live tackling or whatever, but our guys have. So, the first drive is a scripted drive usually, and, that's a game plan thing that you've rehearsed quite a bit and the kids are comfortable with it. And, that comes back from the old Bill Walsh days and stuff like that. And it worked good for us. That first drive. Now, there was some good individual efforts on that first drive. Houghton played unbelievably. He made a couple scrambles, made, great throw here and there. We actually overcame a 3rd and 20. We also, had another 1st and 15, I think. And then we come back, we have about a 7-yard game. We fumble the ball, and then come back and have a first down run by Houghton. He fumbles the ball, what I'm saying? We just did not do a good job of securing the ball. And I think that was really what took us out of the game early. Because early is when we had a chance. We had a chance to maybe get a lead, and then we'd have had to, withstand that. Late, I was proud of the kids for they never gave up. They wanted to keep playing, and so they finished it strong. But that's still not good enough.
All right, there is Donnie Kirkpatrick talking about the fumbling issues and something they emphasized going into the game. Obviously, they are emphasizing it even more this week. You almost hope you don't, talk about it too much that it gets in the players' heads, but it's got to be fixed. The ECU will not win a single game this year if they fumble the ball 3 times on 3 straight drives. I'll put that out to everyone. It's a pretty obvious statement. All right, let's get our first time out in because when we return, we will talk to Dave Cohen. He's the play-by-play voice of the Georgia State Panthers. We'll get an up-close look at their offense, defense, special teams, and break it down for you as the Pirates get set to take on those Panthers coming up Saturday at noon on ESPNU. Back with you on Pirate Radio Live after this.
It's a story that started in a community like ours. Cal Cunningham grew up in Lexington, where church youth groups working at the local brickyard and McDonald's shaped his life. And now Cal's running a different kind of campaign for the U.S. Senate.
I'm Cal Cunningham. I want my service in the U.S. Senate to be about listening and going places where Democrats don't always go. That's what I learned growing up in Lexington, where we don't check voter registration before taking care of our neighbors. We believe in hard work and service, just like the soldiers I served with overseas.
Cal Cunningham volunteered after 9/11, a lieutenant colonel in the Army Reserve who served 3 tours and took on corrupt government contractors. And Cal will take on the corruption in Washington that's been rigging the system for the drug and insurance companies. That's why Cal's not taking corporate PAC money, because he believes the top 1% don't need more favors. It's regular folks who need a voice. He'll be a senator on our side.
I'm Cal Cunningham, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Cal for NC.
Hey, Dad, what's for dinner?
How about CPW's?
Is that the restaurant with the really good lasagna?
It sure is.
Is that the place we got the awesome meat pizza?
Yep, that's the place. Should we do dine in or take out?
I'm tired of eating it. Let's go there!
Just say no to cooking tonight and bring the family, or make it a date night at CPW's. CPW's is open daily at 3 p.m. and has been serving the Greenville community since 1995. CPW's in the Food Line Shopping Center near the hospital.
If you are push mowing your yard using an inefficient lawn tractor, or your current zero-turn spends more time in the shop than mowing your grass, it's time you look at a Hustler zero-turn lawnmower. Residential mowers from Hustler are built like tanks and drive like sports cars. All Hustler mowers have fabricated, welded steel decks. Don't settle on cheap units with flimsy stamped decks from big box stores. Come see Ron Ayers Motorsports. It will guide you to the right mower for your property and your budget. Find us at Ron Ayers Motorsports, Highway 11, north of the airport in Greenville.
Hey Pirate fans, the Papa John's menu has grown again with the all-new grilled buffalo chicken papadilla. The papadillas are part sandwich, part pizza, and are only $6. Choose from the all-new grilled buffalo chicken, Philly cheesesteak, Italian, pepperoni meatball, and barbecue chicken and bacon, all for only $6 each. Also for a limited time, get any large 5-topping pizza for only $13.99. Place your order today online at papajohns.com and sign up for Papa Rewards. Papa John's, the official pizza of the ECU Pirates.
Did you know every 2 seconds someone in the United States needs blood? It is essential for surgeries, cancer treatment, chronic illnesses, and traumatic injuries. I'm David Dom from Carolina Wealth Management. We are proud to team up with the F3 Nation for their Free to Bleed blood drive on Friday, October 23rd from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. at the Drew Steele Center on Elm Street. Help save a life by scheduling an appointment at redcrossblood.org or contact me at 347-2200.
Did you know you can help prevent natural gas emergencies? Whether you're planting a tree, putting up a fence, landscaping, or starting an excavation project, Greenville Utilities strongly encourages you to follow the law and call NC 811. Even minor contact with a natural gas pipeline could cause a natural gas emergency. Before digging or excavation of any kind, North Carolina law requires you call NC 811. Please call at least 3 full working days in advance so all utility lines can be professionally marked prior to digging. Stay safe, avoid damages, and call 811 before you dig.
CD's Grill in Winterville wants to thank you for all of your support during these crazy times. CD's Grill has the area's best country cooking, and you can come and enjoy a down-home breakfast or one of our daily country lunch specials at CD's Grill.
CD's now has an incredible lunch special from 11 till 2 every Saturday. Choose from 2 hot dogs, cheeseburger, or chicken sandwich with fries and a drink for only $4.99 at CD's Grill every Saturday.
CD's Grill, 111 West Fire Tower Road in Winterville.
Hey everybody, this is David Glenn, and you're listening to my favorite station in Eastern North Carolina, Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to Hour 1 of Pirate Radio Live. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Grab your amigos and head to Chico's for the best Mexican food and fun in Greenville. You can come and enjoy favorites like shrimp tacos, steak and chicken fajitas, burritos, enchiladas, ACP, and more. Follow Chico's on Facebook and Instagram for daily updates. For Mexican food and fun, it's gotta be Chico's for dine-in or to go. Now let's head back in to Pirate Radio Live. Here is your host, Clip Rock.
All right, thank you, Shirley Rhodes. Folks, are you sitting down? The Braves have won a playoff series for the first time since 2001.
I'm surprised you're not running around in the studio right now.
I guess it's weird. There's no fans. Does it count in this 2020 year with expanded playoffs? Absolutely,
of course it does.
Counts. It absolutely counts. I'll be a little more excited if they can advance in the next
who else
round.
is a Braves fan, by the way?
Who's that?
Somebody you like to sing quite a few of his songs.
Who's that?
Sir Elton John.
Is that were they talking about that on the broadcast today?
Yeah, they were talking about it on the broadcast, and Dale Murphy actually tweeted out, he's like, I had no idea he was a fan, and sure enough, there are pictures of him attending games and chilling with some of the players. So how about that?
All right, there you go.
Chandler needs.
Well, Chandler, what's up?
But you were talking about the crowd, and congratulations, by the way. But could you imagine that final out and the crowd going crazy there? The Braves faithful.
I try not to think about it.
I know, but speaking of Elton John, I just watched the Rocket Man.
Rocket Man?
Yeah, it's a good movie. Kind of weird, kind of strange, but it's a really good movie.
Chandler's movie reviews coming up later on in today's program. All right, we will go down to Atlanta right now and talk to Dave Cohen, who is the play-by-play voice of the Georgia State Panthers. Dave, welcome to the show. Thanks for your time. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. Thanks for having me. And, the Braves moved to Truist Park up there just outside of downtown, actually a blessing in disguise for Georgia State and Georgia State football because, as you know, we converted what was Turner Field and before that Olympic Stadium into what is now known as Center Park Credit Union Stadium or Georgia State Stadium. So it's kind of funny how the dominoes fall. And, here you and I talking about Georgia State, East Carolina football, and you're talking about the Braves. And, again, Georgia State playing in the former home of the Atlanta Braves downtown.
I've only seen pictures of it, Dave, and it looks absolutely awesome. Looks like a great stadium for football. Looks like a great place to call a game in.
Yeah, Georgia State really did a good job in a very short amount of time. What was it, almost 4 years ago, or 4 years ago, when we took over, got the keys, I think, to the stadium like on January 1, and we were opening up, I think, on August 28th that first year in the new in what was Turner Field. And, had to get a lot of work done to convert the stadium from obviously being a Major League Baseball park into being what is now about a 25,000-seat college football stadium. So, the improvements are made each year. But yeah, you're right. It's been a real blessing in disguise for Georgia State to have our own facility because prior to that, we were sharing the Georgia Dome with the Falcons, and we're not drawing 71,000 fans on a given Saturday. So the luster kind of wore off from playing in the Dome that first year. So having our own facility right now it's really been great.
Dave, while we're on the topic of the stadium and fans, how many fans will be allowed to see the game this Saturday? I know that there are Pirate fans around here who have told me that they will be going to that game and really looking forward to seeing the Pirates play in person for the first time. But how many fans will be allowed at the stadium?
Yeah, I'm not sure the exact number. We played one home game. That was Louisiana 2 weeks ago, and there were a splattering of, red jerseys across the way. I would guess, I don't know, a couple thousand maybe. Again, it holds just under 25,000 for football, but it was nowhere near that, obviously. But, you look out into the stands, and it's not very many. The atmosphere isn't close to what it was last year. But, we're all in the same boat together, all in the same situation, so we'll make do. But it'll be great to have some purple in the stadium along with, some Georgia State blue.
Yes, sir. Talking to Dave Cohen on the Fixed NC Live Line. Dave, it's weird. It's strange for everybody, no matter what they're doing right now in the world. But as we have been used to football season going off without a hitch and schedules being what they are, and now we're sitting here in October, and both of these teams have only played one game. And what a game it was for Georgia State, taking Louisiana to overtime, had a lead in that game, and nearly knocked off the ranked Raging Cajuns. But 34-31, the final score there. A very exciting game. And I look back at last year, Dave, and you've caught a lot of exciting, high-scoring games here lately, right? Georgia State can put up some points, they can give up some points, but it looks like they play a pretty fun brand of football.
Well, we do, and of course, no one in their right mind who was traveling up I-75 to Knoxville a year ago had any idea that we would go into Neyland Stadium and beat Tennessee and play as well as we did in that first game of the season. That was one of the first shockers in college football last year. Certainly it was around here. First win over a Power 5. I mean, the program had come close 3 years ago against 9th-ranked Wisconsin at Camp Randall, but lost in the fourth quarter. So that was really kind of an eye-opener last year. And you're right. I mean, if you look at Georgia State statistically, yeah, you better bring a pen that has extra ink because you're going to be writing down a lot of notes as the game goes along if you're in my position. Last year we averaged 31 points a game. Interestingly enough, as you mentioned, that's what we scored against Louisiana 2 weeks ago. But the problem was we allowed 36. So, we had an experienced quarterback in Dan Ellington. We had the Sun Belt Conference leading rusher in Trey Barnett. They're both no longer, eligible, although Dan is now an assistant coach on the offensive side for us, so that was good to keep him in the locker room and on the sideline. But so in two key positions, we got young quickly, and, defensively, there had to be some improvement. That number had to come down. There's no way you can ask your quarterback and your offense, look, you've got to go out and score at least 35 to 40 points a game for us to have a chance to win. So a lot in the off-season, with whatever kind of off-season it was due to the virus, so we were able to beef up a little bit in the secondary, and hopefully we'll bring that number down. Now, that game against Louisiana falls under the category of woulda, coulda, shoulda. That was a game that we could have won. We've yet to beat them since we've been in the Sun Belt Conference, and right now, if you look at the league, Louisiana Lafayette has won, 24 games in the last two seasons, and then they're 3-0 this year. So actually 25 games in the last 2 years and the 3 games this year. It's primarily been the Raging Cajuns, the Mountaineers of Appalachian State, that have been the cream of the crop consistently in the Sun Belt. The Georgia State program is only in its 11th season period. So we're trying as quickly as we can as a program to climb the ladder within the Sun Belt Conference and hopefully sooner than later play for a Sun Belt Conference championship. That game against Louisiana, even though it was a loss, I know what coaches say about moral losses, but that to me was a sign that the Georgia State program is definitely improving, headed in the right direction to be able to go toe-to-toe and lead a good bit of the game against one of the top two teams in the league. But, right now, Appy and Louisiana are the two top teams. They've played for the Sun Belt Championship each of the last 2 years.
Dave Cohen, play-by-play voice of the Georgia State Panthers, joining us on the Fixed NC Live Line. And Dave, ECU struggled in the passing game last week against UCF. I expect a stronger performance there, and I expect the Pirates to put up some points, but I also expect Georgia State to do the same, and that's the kind of the matchup I'm looking forward to seeing. What can this young ECU defense do against the offense that can move the ball, through the air, but certainly on the ground? And looking at the rushing attempts last week, 34 carries, in your first matchup with Louisiana, 34 carries for Destin Coates, 150 yards and a touchdown. And then tell us about the quarterback, Dave, Cornelius Brown, who threw for 196 yards but rushed for 64. Is he a guy you got to worry about when he gets out of the pocket and can scramble?
Definitely. And, to be honest with you, me personally, it was really a big question mark as to, what kind of a player he would be for Georgia State this year. I was really anxious going into that first game. He only appeared briefly in 4 games last year because he didn't want to burn his red shirt. So, he didn't even play in our bowl game out in Arizona against Wyoming. And all off season, we knew it was going to be a quarterback battle because Dan Ellington, again, was a senior. We knew he was going to stay on as a coach, but we knew we were going to get extremely young at quarterback very quickly. So you had Cornelius Brown from Birmingham. Yeah, they signed Michele Colacerto, a freshman, Gatorade Player of the Year from Inman, South Carolina. And they also got a transfer from Vanderbilt, Jamil Muhammad, who has since been moved to an inside linebacker spot. So Cornelius Brown, 22 of 39 against Louisiana, 56%, a touchdown, 1 interception, and a rushing touchdown. Yes, he's taller and lankier than what Dan Ellington was. He's 6'5", long legs. Yes, he can hurt with his legs and can definitely do some damage through the air. But that game against Louisiana was really a pleasant surprise. It was the first time we saw him where trotting onto the field, he knew that he was the starting quarterback and that everything he had worked for and through during the off season and in fall camp, again, as crazy as all that was with the virus, limiting what teams could do at certain times of the off season, he was a pleasant surprise. I thought he had a really, really good game against Louisiana, for his first outing as the anointed starter.
David, and you mentioned that, no spring ball for East Carolina. They had 2 pauses during fall camp as they were kind of gearing up for the season, and everything has been disjointed with the Marshall game being postponed twice, and it's still postponed. And how about on the Georgia State side of things? How disjointed has the offseason been and this season so far as getting games in?
Yeah, we talked about that on our pregame 2 weeks ago prior to, the Louisiana broadcast, because obviously it was the first time we were together in the radio booth, whereas under normal circumstances it would have been the third time, because we were supposed to open here in Atlanta with Murray State on a Thursday night, September 3, and then the following Saturday we were supposed to go to Tuscaloosa to take on Alabama. So, again, we had 2 games that were canceled. Obviously, the Ohio Valley canceled all their games. The SEC said we're not playing any non-conference. And Georgia State's got to open up again against one of the 2 best teams in the Sun Belt Conference with a almost brand spanking new quarterback. And you mentioned Destin Coach. He was second in rushing last year. He was a workhorse in that Louisiana game with 34 carries. That was a personal best for him, a career-high 150 yards on the ground and the 1 touchdown. So even though we lost Trey Barnett, again, the Sun Belt leading rusher, we did bring back some experience, albeit somewhat less experience, but guys that had been on the field somewhat last year and carried the football. But, for us, we had to open up against, again, one of the 2 best teams in the league, and really should have been coming back to Atlanta from Tuscaloosa to play the Raging Cajuns.
Well, Dave, appreciate the breakdown. Georgia State, ECU coming up Saturday at noon on ESPNU. Our pregame coverage begins 8 a.m. right here on the Bud Light pregame tailgate on Pirate Radio. Dave, I guess we'll get you some barbecue when you come into Greenville. It looks like 2027, kind of a weird home-and-home matchup that the games are that far apart, but that's what I'm seeing here. So we'll hope to see you when you get to Greenville 7 years from now, if that game is played and still on the schedule. But have a great call this weekend, Dave. Should be a fun matchup. Georgia State is a slight favorite. The total sitting in the high 60s. So Vegas is expecting a good game, and I am as well.
Yeah, I've been around Georgia State long enough to not get too overconfident, mainly be cautiously optimistic, but take nothing for granted. And because we did not play at Charlotte last week, I had the opportunity to flip back and forth and watch some of the East Carolina-Central Florida game. Again, not kidding myself, UCF is a really, really good program. East Carolina, again, a good program as well. So I think it'll be a very evenly matched football game, but I'm looking forward to it. And as always, thanks for having me on.
Yes, sir. Have a great call on Saturday, and we'll talk to you again down the road, Dave. Appreciate it.
All right, thank you very much.
All right, there's Dave Cohen, the play-by-play voice of the Georgia State Panthers. And again, the closer we get to it, the more excited I am about this game, because ECU and Georgia State, and I know Pirate fans hate to hear it, Georgia State, a new program, but kind of an even playing field here. That's just where ECU is, and Mike Houston's going to build it up, and the Pirates are going to get better and better, obviously. But right now, he is trying to take his team on the road and win a game against a quality opponent, an opponent that went to a bowl game last year, lost to Wyoming in a bowl game, that won 5 games at home last year. So, if you're Mike Houston, you got to have this one, because it does not get any easier on the schedule. You got USF and then a bunch of games that are going to be tough for the Pirates. You're going to be underdogs in every game the rest of the way, unless ECU wins this weekend and South Florida looks bad. Maybe the Pirates are a slight favorite against the Bulls next week, but after that, the Pirates are going to be dogs pretty much all year long. They need to go out and win this one coming up on Saturday. All right, let's take a time out, Shirley. We'll come back. We'll talk more about this game with the big man on campus, Jeff Nadu. Get his take on ECU Georgia State. Get his take on the game of the year tonight, Broncos-Jets, and also what else is going on this weekend in the NFL and college football. That's on the way when we return on Pirate Radio Live. We're back with you after.
Hello, Pirate Nation. This is Representative John Bell, the Majority Leader of the North Carolina House, and it has been an honor serving the people of Eastern North Carolina the last 8 years. I've had the privilege of working with your local representatives, Dr. Perrin Jones and Chris Humphrey, as they delivered hundreds of millions of dollars in COVID relief funding to our small businesses, healthcare providers, and families right here in Pitt County. Unfortunately, their opponents are funded by radical liberal out-of-state donors that want to destroy our agriculture heritage, defund the police, and silence your voice by buying this election. This is not North Carolina. We cannot and will not let this happen. Dr. Perrin Jones and Chris Humphrey are focused on solutions, not revolutions. They will make sure your voice is heard and represent our Eastern North Carolina values. So Pirate Nation, the choice is clear. On November 3rd, please support and vote for Dr. Perrin Jones and Chris Humphrey for the North Carolina House. Strong voices for Eastern North Carolina. Paid for by the John Bell Committee.
Hey guys, listen up. The next 30 seconds is very important because we have an announcement. Shimmer Boutique is your one-stop shop to make you look good and thoughtful. This is Ashley at Shimmer Boutique. We specialize in men's and women's apparel and also carry the biggest selection of local hats and jewelry. From Yetis to Hey Dudes, this is the place for you. Did I mention we also have free gift wrapping? Come check us out at our new location on Greenville Boulevard behind Starbucks. Shimmer is your one-stop shop for the whole family, and we will always make your shopping experience easy and fun.
Hey Pirate Nation, this is Tom Brown from Brown & Wood Buick GMC Truck. We've been serving the Pirate Nation in Eastern North Carolina for 83 years. We have 4 brands, 3 generations, 2 showrooms, and 1 goal to make sure you leave a happy customer.
This month at Brown & Wood, get an all-new 2020 GMC Sierra and save over $10,000 off. As always, Brown & Wood is the home of the lifetime warranty.
We're located on Greenville Boulevard next to the Convention Center, or shop us online at brownandwoodauto.com.
Love Jersey Mike subs? Love them times 12 with our new catering box. Packed full of a dozen individually wrapped subs. They're yours for the sharing. Jersey Mike's. Be a sub above. Tired of cooking at home? Change it up without getting up. Just order Jersey Mike's through our app for no contact delivery or no contact at the door pickup. Jersey Mike's. Be a sub above.
North Carolina state parks are now open for visitors. Parks should be used for exercise, fresh air, getting out in nature, or a day trip as the state safely reopens. Visitors should enjoy themselves, but please remember the 3 W's. Wear face coverings, wait 6 feet apart, and wash your hands often. Focus on moving through the park, keep social distancing in mind, and avoid large groups. While most facilities and activities will be open, please contact any state park before your visit with questions or visit ncparks.gov/open.
The Frells family lives on a lush piece of land called Greener Pasture, and they work on it behind the wheel of a John Deere 1 Series tractor. With its durable construction and features that hook up to dozens of attachments with ease, no job is too tough. The Frells family runs with us, because this is more than just land, it's home. Nothing runs like a Deere. Search John Deere 1 Series for more.
Get quality at every turn with Quality Equipment, your local John Deere dealer, with 27 locations in North Carolina and southeastern Virginia. Find out more at qualityequip.com.
Did you know your small change can make a difference? The next time you visit McDonald's, please consider rounding up for the Ronald McDonald House. Your change adds up and can help many folks in Eastern North Carolina. Just $10 can provide a free night stay for families with sick children here in Eastern North Carolina and across the state. Just ask your cashier at checkout or choose to round up for RMHC when ordering through the McDonald's app. Thank you for visiting your local McDonald's owned by Dixon Foods and for your support of the Ronald McDonald House of Eastern North Carolina.
This is Big John Williams, strength and conditioning coach for East Carolina football, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to Hour 1 of Pirate Radio Live. Now, back to the show.
Now I can get my mic to work. All right, welcome back. PRL this afternoon is brought to you by Bud Light, who reminds Pirate fans to always stay in the game and drink responsibly. Bud Light, the official beer of the ECU Pirates and proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989. Now let's head back into Pirate Radio Live. Here's your host, Clip Brock.
All right. Welcome back, Shirley Rhodes.
Yeah, my mic wasn't working.
Well,
there
I
for a
heard
second.
you talking. As long as I can hear you, that's good, right?
That didn't do me any good, though.
That's true. All right, Chandler Honeycutt, video production today. Our buddy John, who calls in on the fifth quarter. You know who John is?
Come on, guys.
Come on, guys. His brace says Broncos might win tonight. He's a Broncos fan.
Yeah, I know he's a Broncos fan.
They might. They might not. I don't care. I don't know if I'll watch it. I'm going to watch it. I'm watching it.
I might have it on in the background or something.
Some
but
white noise?
Yeah, it's not a sexy matchup to me.
Not at all. It is the opposite of sexy. That is for sure. But I don't even know how fired up Igoe is for it. We'll find out coming up in about 20 minutes when he joins us on the show. We'll talk about that matchup and more right now as we'll go out to the Fixed NC Live line. Welcome on the big man on campus, Jeff Nadu from Barstool Sports. Jeff, how you doing today, man?
Pretty good. How are you, Cliff?
Hey, doing great, Jeff. It's been a great sports week, and it only gets better with football this weekend and beginning tonight. Although, and many have said it, even if these teams are at full strength, it's a decent game at best. But with all the injuries with the Broncos and Jets, just a brutal game tonight on Thursday Night Football. But you said it, Jeff. I mean, it doesn't matter the sport or the teams playing. If there's a betting edge somewhere, then you'll be interested. So on that note, is there an edge anywhere, or are you ignoring this football game tonight between the Broncos and Jets?
Well, I think when you look at it, obviously, I think you can. I mean, I don't really need to tell anyone this, but I think the Jets are the worst team in the NFL. I mean, there's no talent on this team. Defensively, at least back in the day, last year or the year before, they could hang their hat on the fact that they had, Leonard Williams or Jamal Adams or C.J. Mosley. Those guys are long gone. And I think if you're a team like the Jets with very little offensive talent, a bad offensive line, and injuries up and down, you sometimes try to hang your hat on defense. And I think if you're the Denver Broncos, that's what you do here. I mean, this defense is still pretty damn good. We saw that in, that first game against the Tennessee Titans. We saw it, against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, obviously, that was with Drew Lock. But, look, I've said before, and I'll say it again, I think Brett Rippon is a quality player. I don't know how he'll be in the NFL. I was really a big fan of his when he was at Boise State. I don't know what he can do here, but I think the backup, with the running backs and Melvin Gordon and Royce Freeman, they've got some talent at the receiver position. They have a decent offensive line. Look, anytime the Jets at this point are a favorite, I'm going to have some interest. At the end of the day, I think the Broncos are a pretty good defense.
Stephen Igoe, who will join me in a little bit, is a Broncos fan. And look, he's obviously down on his team with all the injuries and everything. But he did say, Jeff, if there's an advantage anywhere, if you're looking for an edge, the players will play for Fangio. And he's not so sure that the players on the other side are playing for Gase. You know what I mean? There seems to be a disconnect there between Gase and the Jets. And maybe Fangio has his team. Maybe they have his back a little more than the Jets have their coach's back.
Yeah, no, I definitely think that's possible. I mean, I think very soon Adam Gase will be fired. I mean, did anyone really think Adam Gase would be a good coach? I didn't. I don't think anyone did. But yeah, I think at least with the for the Broncos, they have some guys they can go to. It's probably a low scoring game. You probably put Rippon in a quick hitting, conservative pass kind of attack and, run the football. There's nothing to like about the Jets right now. I mean, even when healthy, Clip, you look at this offense, what the hell does this group have? They don't have anything. And right now it is a mess. Frank Gore's your running back. There's just nothing here. At +1, I think the Broncos are probably the player.
Jeff, we talked about the high totals last week, and sure enough, there was some shootout games in the NFL last Sunday. And just looking through it right now, more games in the 50s this week. When you look at, let's see, Saints Lions at 54, Cardinals Panthers at 51, Cowboys Browns at 56, and then you got Vikings Texans and Seahawks Dolphins around 54. And let's see, there's a couple more. Patriots Chiefs 52.5, Bills Raiders 53. Just high flying offenses everywhere. And Monday night 56.5, Falcons Packers. The 50 number has become the norm in the NFL, Jeff.
Yeah, you look, Clip. there's almost 20 teams in the NFL averaging 25 points or more per game. Now we're only through a couple of games, but the offenses are flying. I mean, you look at Green Bay. I mean, through 3 games, they're averaging 41 points a game. I mean, there are 3 teams that are averaging more than 31 points a game. So, when you look at totals in the NFL clip, you're going to see them go up, but you can only go so high with totals.
Yeah.
And you're never going to see a 60. You're never going to see a 65 in the NFL. So you start to get to a point where what do the odds makers do at some point? Because at one point you're going to see on the regular, 34, 31 type of games. But, the offense have been fun. I mean, we've seen a team like Buffalo look more high-flying. We've seen – and look, the end of the day, Clip, in wherever you go, in whatever sport you're looking at, defense is optional nowadays. And there are more flags thrown. The red zone offenses are better, and they run less. So it's no surprise.
Jeff, anything else you're looking at for Sunday for the NFL coming up?
Yeah, I'm still kind of, I think nowadays, now that we're into the season a little bit, there have just been injuries left and right. You've got to be watching these practice reports. And, one of the mistakes that I made last year, and I've made in the past in the NFL, I think if you're a football bettor, you have to be really cognizant with how you're wagering early in the week, because you got to watch these practice reports and see who's in, see who's out. I think it's so tough because you look at Seattle and you have to wonder at what point do they kind of come back to earth just a little bit. I mean, offensively they've been so good.
And at what point do they lose the like? Does the defense let them down? Because they're giving up points every week.
Well, and the defense almost did let them down last week.
Yeah.
They were able to get a late score and find a way to get it done. By the way, if you had the Cowboys last week, that's kind of a tough one. I mean, you come all the way back, you're down big, you get inside the number, you actually take the lead, and then you end up losing the cover. That was a rough one. But when you look at Seattle here, Miami's secondary's banged up. They gave up 415 against Josh Allen last week. And you look at that offense. Russell Wilson's not doing much wrong right now. If you're laying under a touchdown, I also want to keep in mind Pete Carroll has been very good over the last 5 seasons or in his career at taking his team to the East Coast and playing early.
Yeah.
That was one thing last week. Early in the season, Bill Belichick, off a loss, you know how good Bill Belichick is. He was off a loss last week and laying under a touchdown. I'll look at another coaching trend here. Coaching trends and trends in general don't mean very much to me, but when you're getting coaches that are just so proficient, some of these coaches are 40% ROI or higher in certain situations. So when I'm looking at that, Miami secondary is banged up. I think you look and see Seattle defense that's getting better. I'm looking at Seattle this week.
Jeff Nadu, Barstool Sports, the big man on campus, joining us on the Fixed NC Live line. Jeff, last week you had the ECU and UCF over, so 1-0 on the year when taking an ECU game. How about this week? I see the line now at 2.5 in favor of Georgia State with that total at 69. Personally, I'm expecting another shootout, and I got to believe it. See it to believe it when it comes to the ECU defense. I do think the passing game for the Pirates will play much better in week 2, Jeff. But any thoughts on this ECU matchup for the weekend?
Yeah, Georgia State, interesting team. Cornelius Brown, their quarterback, was actually pretty good. He wasn't great from an efficiency standpoint, from a completion percentage, but he did some good things. He had a couple of touchdowns. They were really good on the ground against UL Lafayette. And as you said, ECU was a mess last week defensively. But look, a lot of teams are going to be a mess defensively against Central Florida. This is a little bit more along the wavelength of what ECU can expect. But, as I said to you last week, I texted you, and even on Monday, I didn't quite understand the game plan in the second half from ECU. I would have gotten Holton Ahlers on the move a little bit more, to throw the football a little bit more. Look, I got to be honest. I wouldn't be really looking to lay points, but in this situation, I have a little interest in ECU, but I don't know. I got to look more into Georgia State. I got to see more with. I just don't really know what to expect from an ECU standpoint. I thought they'd throw the ball last week a lot, but UCF did a nice job against C.J. Johnson. I'd have to think Georgia State will do that as well. When it all comes down to it, I'm probably not going to bet this game, but frankly, when you see the quarterback play, when you see the ability to rush the ball for Georgia State, and with the fact that they have a little bit of time to prepare for C.J. Johnson and they are at home here, I would almost lean with Georgia State, and Sharps are agreeing with that.
I believe, Jeff, that earlier when we talked this week on Monday, was it Southern Miss, North Texas you liked to go over?
Yeah, I played that over already.
Okay.
This is actually a pretty good week, though, from a standpoint of college football. There's a lot of interesting games.
Yeah.
Just a couple to throw out here. Texas is interesting against TCU. They're a double-digit favorite here. I've talked ad nauseum in the past about Tom Herman laying points. We saw that on display last week. I mean, they just don't cover as a favorite under Tom Herman, and they didn't at Houston either. Tom Herman's not good laying points, and I was very high on what I saw from Max Duggan last week, the quarterback for Texas Christian. We always know that they're going to bring a strong defense with Gary Patterson. I have no interest in laying points with Texas University. Defensively, they looked absolutely lost last week against Texas Tech. Also, I think there's kind of an interesting trend developing here with Mississippi State. We all know what we saw last week from them. They were vaunted against LSU, and I think a lot of that will overshadow. It's an SEC game. We know Mississippi State will be a public darling this week, but this is a lot of points delay. Mike Leach has not been good as a favorite. Last year he wasn't good as a favorite, and you're laying almost 3 touchdowns. Keep in mind, when you have a team that can throw the ball prolifically, when they score a lot of points, the key to that team is keeping the football out of that team's hands. So, if you're Arkansas, you've got to establish the run this week. Rakeem Boyd's got to have a big game here. They have a quarterback in Felipe Franks that I think should be able to do some things, but again, Arkansas was blitzed last week. If they get blitzed, I would look at this game clip from a live standpoint. If Arkansas gets blitzed out of the gate and go down 14-0, I would bet over live, because Arkansas's only idea at that point is going to be to throw the football. They're going to have to try to keep up. So over could be in the cards, but I get a weird feeling that Mississippi State's a little overvalued here.
Big Man on Campus, Jeff Nadu, joining us. We will talk to Jeff coming up on the Bud Light pregame tailgate in the 11 o'clock hour and go over the college football slate one more time on Saturday when he visits with us. Jeff, I was hosting sports trivia last night at A.J. McMurphy, so I was kind of distracted from the games that were going on, but I looked up, and the Heat had a 15-point lead, and by the time trivia ended, and I looked back up, they were down 15. I mean, it was a 30-point swing in a matter of minutes, and that one got away with all the injuries piling up. That future you took is looking like it's in a little danger, but I don't know. Maybe they can bounce back, but without Dragic, and did I see, was it Bam that's also banged up going in the game too?
I mean, Clip, I'm not sure I've ever talked to you and you were more negative. I mean, one game in and it's up in smoke. I mean, yeah, look, I mean, it wasn't a great situation.
Yeah.
Look, you can't get nothing out of Duncan Robinson. Tyler Hero was a minus 34. Goran Dragic got injured. Bam got injured. Obviously, we got to see what their status is. But when Bam and Dragic only scored 14, Duncan's a goose egg. Hero wasn't much of a factor. I mean, their second leading scorer last night was Kendrick Nunn. Look, the Lakers did a nice job. Even in that first quarter, it was a tale of 2 6 minutes there. So, yeah, the Heat got to get back and regroup. It's going to be a tall mountain. Look, I said in the blog I wrote about this series, if the Lakers make threes, they'll win. Miami's going to run zone, and they're going to dare the Lakers to make threes. Lakers were able to make them. We got some time, Clip. Don't be so negative.
Yeah.
A real quick clip. I wanted to throw something out to your listeners. I know we got to wrap this up, but I did want to throw one more thing out in football. There's something interesting happening this week with Navy and Air Force. If you remember, the Mountain West is coming back, but Air Force is going to start a little bit early against the Naval Academy at home this week. And I'm hearing some really bad things out of Colorado Springs. They are a mess on the defensive end. They have players that weren't able to get eligible. They've got players that are brand new. Their quarterback, Donald Hammond, is according to reports, not in good standing as a cadet and was not listed on their depth chart. They are going to be in a world of trouble this week, and this is just a horrific spot. You have a team in Navy who is off a come-from-behind win. They've had a week to prepare. You've got to figure their tackling is in kind of where it should be now. They have a quarterback that has some experience under his belt. And last season, Clip, Navy was 8-1 as a favorite against the number. I know a lot of people look at this and say, wow, 7-point favorite on the road against the Air Force, but Air Force is in a world of hurt right now from a personnel standpoint. And I'm seeing quotes thrown around that we're just happy to be playing and we're going to do what we can. That's usually a tonic to a blowout. So you look at the last two games these teams have played, they've come by double digits.
All right, good tip there, big man. Had not seen any of that. Navy, a 7-point favorite as I look at it right now against Air Force. Big man, enjoyed it. I love that you called me negative. Just follow Jeff during an Eagles game or a game he's bet on, and tell me who's negative.
You know what, Cliff? Dave Portnoy just called me the most arrogant gambler in the world. All right, settle down, okay?
I love last week, was it when the Bills scored and you were like, I had it the whole time. I knew it the whole time, or whatever you said there in the gambling house. Yeah. That was good. Are you back in the house on Sunday, the Barstool stream?
Well, I hate to be negative, but no, I will not be.
Okay.
Dave's actually out in L.A. He's going to be doing some stuff over the weekend out there. So as far as I know, I won't be there this week. I don't know how much there are going to be streams, but I will be back. We got college basketball coming. I'm going to be front and center for that. But make sure you read the blogs I'm putting out. I got a lot of good stuff coming out. I'll put some pics out over the weekend.
Sounds good, big man. We'll talk to you Saturday morning.
Cheers, Cliff. Thanks.
All right, Jeff Nadu will be a part of the Bud Light pregame tailgate coming up in the 11 o'clock hour. Looking forward to another big 4-hour show beginning 8 a.m. Saturday morning right here on Pirate Radio. You can watch it. We had a lot of folks watching last week, taking screenshots of them watching it on their televisions via YouTube Live. So check us out coming up this Saturday at 8 a.m. Let's take a timeout. We'll come back, wrap up hour number 1, get you set for hour 2. When Stephen Igoe joins me inside the Pirate Radio studios. We got a busy hour 2, talking ECU, Georgia State. Fantasy football start sit, some college football picks, a lot to do. When we return, we're back after this.
Your CBD store in Greenville has the highest quality CBD products in the country. Your CBD store is the first and only brand that carries USDA certified organic products such as gummies, honey sticks, and high absorption water-soluble liquids, which are all made in the United States. They even offer products for your pet. The educated staff will help you answer any questions, and you can stop in anytime to get a free sample. Your CBD store, locally owned and operated, open Monday through Saturday, 10 to 6, right beside Duck Donuts in Greenville.
Are you trying to reduce clutter? Want to save a tree? Greenville Utilities can help. E-bill is a simple solution. Imagine getting an email letting you know your bill is ready. And with a few clicks on your computer or smartphone, you can review and pay your bill. It's just that easy. Signing up is simple. All you need to do is to log on to your account at guc.com and update your contact information and e-bill setting. You can even continue to receive a paper bill if you'd like. E-bill from Greenville Utilities. Just one of the ways GUC is here for you.
The fun place to dine out with friends and family is Familia. Familia has something for everyone and offers favorites like New York-style pizza, lasagna, homemade meatballs, plus new specials like chicken parm alfredo, mahi fish and chips, chicken piccata, veggie burger, butternut squash ravioli, and more. If you need food to go, Familia's drive-thru window is open and ready for all takeout orders. Familia, Fire Tower Road near Pitt Community College, and FamiliaNC.com.
In studio today with Candy Cane, also known as Stephen Asby to his friends and family. Why do you go to F3?
Man, I go to F3 for so many reasons. You know, we kind of talk about the 3 pieces. We talk about the fitness, which is really important. You know, second, the fellowship. And I find so many guys, me included for many years, really struggle with deep relationships with other dudes. And then the faith part. You realize how many guys absolutely need it, and sometimes they don't know.
One letter, one number, F3. Learn more today at f3enc.com.
Whiteclaw Hard Seltzer. Discover a new wave of refreshment. Crafted using seltzer water, 5% alcohol, and a hint of fruit. Available in 5 fruit flavors, 2 grams of carbs, gluten-free, and 100 calories. Find it at whiteclaw.com. Whiteclaw Hard Seltzer. Nothing tastes quite like it. Please drink responsibly. Hard seltzer with natural flavors. Whiteclaw Seltzer Works, 2019 Chicago. Visit whiteclaw.com for full nutritional information.
Let us help you get back to business.
This is Donald Stocks
And Justin Judge of PIP of Eastern North Carolina.
We're ready to assist your business with branded PPE. Would you like face masks with your logo? We can do that. Plus custom social distancing signage.
Now is the time to ramp up your marketing efforts. Whether it's cutting edge, contactless, touchless marketing, or traditional direct mail, we can do it all.
We are PIP of Eastern North Carolina.
Welcome to Jack Brown's. What can I get for you?
You guys got chicken strips?
Nah, we don't have those.
Can I get a salad?
No, we don't carry salads, ma'am.
Well, what do you have?
We are glad you asked. This ain't no regular degular. This is American Wagyu beef.
These ain't your Uncle Timmy's charcoal bricks.
Kiss the cook, kiss my grits. Our burgers are 4 ounces hand pressed, made to order, perfectly seasoned ecstasy in a potato roll.
4 ounces not big enough for you, big man? Double patty time!
Or just grab a cheeseburger.
Jack Brown's, 805 Dickinson Avenue, Greenville.
This is Stephen Igoe, publisher of HoistTheColors.net. Recruiting is the lifeblood of any college sports program, and no one devotes more coverage to the future of ECU athletics than Hoist the Colors. Want to know who's going to be the next Holton Ahlers or Jaden Gardner? We've got all the inside scoop on the Pirates' most talented recruits and top targets 24/7. Sign up now and get your first month of coverage for a single $1. HoistTheColors.net, the most reliable reporting on ECU athletics.
This is Pirate Radio, WGHB Farmville, W224EI Greenville, WDLX Washington, and W281CH Washington. You're listening to Hour 2 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour is brought to you by University PC Care, your local tech support experts for all your business needs. Let University PC Care take care of it so you can take care of business. Visit universitypccare.com to learn more today. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Hey, Town Insurance is your premier independent insurance agency. From maximizing opportunities to minimizing risk, Town's Insurance Advisors offer expert professional advice to clients of all sizes. For personal or business insurance questions, call 756-8300 today. Now let's head back in to Pirate Radio Live. Here's your host, Clip Brock.
All right, thank you, Shirley Rhodes. Very depressing chat as we come back into the show with Stephen Igoe from Hoist the Colors.
There is one more.
I saw a stat. Hold on. You got it, but don't say it yet.
I can't think of his name because he was so irrelevant.
So I saw a stat, Trey Wingo on Twitter. We got Jets and Broncos tonight on Pirate Radio, folks. Brett Rippon gets his first NFL start, nephew of Mark Rippon, who won a Super Bowl with the Redskins. This will be the 9th different quarterback the Broncos have used since Peyton Manning retired. That is the most in the NFL, and those quarterbacks combined have the worst QBR in that time, 44 combined QBR. I don't know what that means, but it can't be good. So you just listed the names.
Yeah.
Who's the guy you can't think of? Like what?
Brandon Allen.
Okay.
He got He got 2 starts last year. He was the former Arkansas quarterback. He was not good, but he did beat the Browns. As bad as Cleveland is. So he got an NFL start and a win in his first career start.
So it was Allen, Rippon counts as one of the 9. Flacco, you said.
Flacco, Keenum, Paxton Lynch. Osweiler, Simeon, and Drew Lock.
Okay. So that's the list. And look, you might have something with Lock, but you're sitting here, you just said you kind of hope the losing continues and you can get Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah, I mean, Drew Lock's supposed to come back in a couple weeks. So, part of me wants them to win just so, I can see Drew Lock play some meaningful games. But then the other part of me is, if they lose to the Jets, who are by far the worst team in the league, then you can really start to have legitimate thoughts about you might be able to go 2-14 as all these injuries pile up. I really think they have a pretty good roster. They've just been crushed by injuries and key positions. I think if they could get the guy at quarterback, they would be a playoff team as soon as next year. I don't know if Drew Lock's going to be that guy, but it's kind of hard to tell when he's got a ruptured throwing rotator cuff.
Another depressing stat for Igoe sports team. So the Braves today won a playoff series for the first time since 2001. That year is also the last time your Mariners were in the postseason, right?
Yep. Yeah, so until today, the Braves had not won. The Mariners had actually won a playoff series more recently than the Braves, but the Braves exercised those demons today. So congrats to all the Atlanta fans. Been a long time coming for you guys. I was happy for the Braves to win, even though the series was not the best to watch.
Man, can what if you're a Reds fan? What if this was a 5 or 7 game series and you just had to keep watching your team not score? Because I don't think they would have scored if they played 20 innings today or last night.
And they just look awful, man. I mean, you talked about it going into the series. All they do is strike out or hit home runs, and all they did was strike out. They didn't hit any home runs. So they're not built much for contact. It's just all power, big dudes. So, credit the Braves pitching. All the talk was they don't have enough starters. Well, they kind of did have to win in 2 games maybe to win the series. Yep. So I'll be very interested to see.
Didn't want to get to Sonny Gray tomorrow,
So now what is it, 5 games in the divisional? I assume they're still doing 5.
And very good news that the Cubs and Marlins were postponed today. And let's say the Cubs win tomorrow, so that series would go on into Saturday. So the Braves will be able to rest Fried and get him ready to go. So, by the way, the White Sox 1-0 lead, I believe. That's what it was last time I checked, on a Luis Robert solo smash. Igoe. They lead the A's 1-0. Coming up tonight, Cardinals and Padres. Cardinals can win that series on the road at San Diego, and the Dodgers and Brewers at 10 o'clock tonight. All right, Georgia State ECU, Saturday at noon. We talked to the play-by-play voice of the Panthers earlier in the show, Dave Cohen, and I think this is going to be a wild one, Igoe, a fun one. Up and down. I'm expecting points. I'm expecting both teams to look pretty good on the offensive side of the ball, and then starting with ECU, I expect a much stronger performance out of Holton Ahlers coming up on Saturday.
Yeah, I think, I had somebody ask me earlier this week who has to play well for ECU to win. I do think it is the obvious answer. I think the passing game and Holton Ahlers have to get right. There's a lot that goes into that, of course, but I think he's got to kind of will this team in a big game. And, for people who don't understand how good Georgia State is, they have some talent. They went 7-6 last year. They're in the 5th year of the Sean Elliott era. They've got a lot of talented transfers. They're right in Atlanta, so they're going to have some guys, or some dudes, as we called them earlier this week.
Dudes.
So this will not be an easy game at all. And, you say you expect a lot of points. I kind of have a feeling this is going to be a high 20s game. I don't know. I think both teams are going to run the ball a decent amount. I think Georgia State, that's what they do.
What if this is ECU's new offense? Run the ball 50 times.
Donnie Kirkpatrick said, and maybe he was just saying it because he was speaking to the media, but he said yesterday, basically the staff doesn't think they can win games by doing what they did the second half of last season because they want to help out the defense more.
Yeah.
Now, is that coach speak, and they're going to come out and throw it 50 times because they like a matchup, or are they legitimately going to stick to the running? I think part of the problem is now, I just don't know if you can protect Holton Ahlers, and it's hard to know because you played UCF, which has some very good defensive linemen. But if they can't protect on Saturday against Georgia State, you're not going to be able to protect Holton Ahlers for much of this year. So you do have to develop a running game, and
hey, that leads to the play action, and that's when you can get some big plays out of your offense.
But Georgia State, I don't think, is going to be able to go man and cover those guys like UCF did. Tyler Snead, Blake Pearl, C.J. Johnson. They do have some experience in a couple of transfers in the secondary from the SEC and the ACC. So, again, they'll have some experience. But, I'll take my chances. I know that I said that going into the UCF game and had to bite my words or bite my tongue. But more times than not, if they're going to try to man up C.J., and Tyler, you're going to take that matchup. And like Donnie said last night, hopefully they can get Omatosho on the field at the same time as well, which sounds like Hatfield might be questionable this week in the slot. So maybe you put some Prohl or Omatosho in the slot as well to see what happens.
Not going to judge ECU's defense off the UCF game, but, I mean, the UCF picked up a ton of yards. Yep. It looks like Georgia State's bread and butter is running the football. They had one running back last week, Coates, I believe his name is, that had 35 carries. And then the quarterback had 15 more.
So, I mean, they're going to do a lot of quarterback zone read, option type of stuff. Their quarterback actually has a big arm. he's 6'5", 200 pounds, so he's a big dude and a fluid runner. If you watch him run, he doesn't look awkward, like a lot of taller quarterbacks can. He looks the part. Coming out of high school, he actually had an offer from Alabama and a couple others, so you're talking about a guy who has some major upside.
To play quarterback?
That's what I don't know.
Yeah.
I think he got offered originally, but then it wasn't committable. But still, if Alabama's looking at you to play quarterback at any level, that speaks to the talent. So they call him Quad Brown. He's Cornelius Brown.
Well, so both of these quarterbacks in this game have had interest from Alabama.
That is true. They both, at one point, probably got called by Nick Saban. So, but no, he's still making a second career start. And it's not like he lit the world on fire passing the football. So if I'm Blake Harrell, I'm coming after him early. The thing that does worry you, if you blitz and he breaks contain, you're going to have some big runs against you. So you got to stay in your rushing lanes and you got to collapse the pocket. So, but I think there's a way to attack them, and I feel pretty good about ECU's run defense after watching the UCF game. Honestly, I mean, until UCF started throwing the football, they weren't really running the ball.
That is true. They did. You're right. I'll give you that. They looked pretty good on the run defense.
I'm not going to say they're going to go out there and shut teams down, but it was clear that Blake Harrell is going to run blitz a lot to take away the run and not just count on his defensive lineman getting penetration and make, you could see a conscious effort to shut down the run.
Yeah.
It reminds me of what Blackwell did. Like last year with Trot, they didn't do a ton of run blitzing. It was more read your keys and attack as a linebacker, but I think you're going to make a conscious effort with this staff to stop the run first and then force them to beat you with the pass.
Shirley, do you still have Mike Houston's cuts from earlier this week, or did you get rid of those? Because I just thought of some. I wanted to play Mike Houston 2 from yesterday, I guess it was, or Tuesday after the Zoom.
Yeah, I still got him.
Because Igoe asked if Tajee Hudson, receiver, quarterback turned receiver, would be used as a scout team quarterback this week to mimic what the Georgia State quarterback does. And here's what Houston said.
It's funny you say that because, we were talking Sunday night, and I was like, what he looks like? He looks like Tajee in a couple of years if you played him at quarterback, because of the athleticism, because of, the ability to throw it and run it, and the size. So, obviously a drastically different, offensive scheme than what we saw last week. Different quarterback than what we saw last week. I do think that, the combination of, Tajee and Ryan, will be able to, get us ready for the game. So I do feel good about our ability to give our defense a scout look, but, it's a deal where he's a talented athlete, just like Tajee. So a lot of similarities.
Good call, Igoe. Did you have intel on that, or did you just pull that out of nowhere?
I kind of had a feeling that just after watching some of the Georgia State game, Stubblefield he can run, but he's more of a pocket guy. Like Tajee, they just have a similar build. They run similar, like long stride type of deal. So I just thought it made sense. And Tajee right now, even though he's working at receiver, he didn't get any snaps last week on offense. So, you're not going to really put him in the game plan as a receiver. So it makes sense to utilize him as a scout team quarterback.
I'm interested to see what Georgia State does, because running team with their running back and their quarterback, and I don't know. I just hope they don't lull you to sleep and then hit a big pass play over the top, because just like I expect ECU's pass game to look a lot better in week 2, this is a young quarterback in year 1 who's had a couple of weeks to prepare for this game, coming off their loss to Louisiana. That their passing game could improve.
Yeah, I mean, I think definitely they have 2 receivers that pique my interest. Sam Pinckney's 6'4", and he had some big time offers coming out of high school, and he attended Georgia State. And then Cornelius McCoy, I believe, was their leading receiver last year and had a ton of catches. So he's about 6 foot, 6'1". So, and they got like a 5'9" guy in the slot. So I mean, they have some weapons. I don't think it's going to be anything better than what UCF threw at ECU in terms of speed, but it's not like ECU is probably going to have some one-on-one situations. So at some point, you're going to have 6'4" Sam Pinckney against probably a 5'9" cornerback, and I would expect them to take a shot at some point. And you just hope you can hold up or get some pressure or get an inaccurate ball, or maybe you can get an interception off those, because I think he threw a pick against Lafayette And he didn't really face that much pressure looking at the stats. So I think if ECU can pressure him, it'll be interesting to see how he responds.
Yeah, Blake Harrell was aggressive bringing the blitz against UCF. And did he say during the Zoom they blitzed 60% of the time?
That's what he said. He said they were in three-man or odd fronts 50% of the time, and then an even front 50% of the time, and they blitzed 60%. And
what does that mean? Does that mean like more than how many rushers?
What I was
5 or
usually it would mean 5.
More than the offensive line, basically.
Yeah, or more than what you have on the line of scrimmage.
Okay.
So I don't know when he means they were in a 3-man front. If they just brought one
guy, right?
I don't know if he counted that in that 60% or if it was a true, 5 or more.
Right.
Which, looking back at the game, I watched them this afternoon. They blitzed them just.
And it worked a few times. Like they got either an inaccurate throw or a rushed throw, and our DBs were there to break it up or knock the ball loose. So it worked. And I think against a less experienced quarterback and less playmaking wide receivers, that blitz is really going to work.
I think so. And ECF really struggled with it until they started going to those spit out screens, and ECU couldn't stop it, and it just seemed like it took forever for them to adjust to let's put our corners as close as possible. It's dangerous because if you do that and then they hit you with the screen and go, you're pretty much done because you have to keep so many guys in to stop the run. So they stretch you so much horizontally and vertically. If you notice, their receivers, they line up super close to the sideline. And then Gabriel is able to get it out there quick, even as a lefty. So they're just a different animal.
That they are. Stephen Igoe, Hoist the Colors, hanging out inside the Pirate Radio studios. We will take a time out. We'll come back. We'll switch gears a little bit, talk fantasy football, NFL, and we'll circle back to college football. We got to make some picks and talk more ECU and Georgia State. And Igoe and I are hot right now.
Oh, yeah?
4-2 apiece last week. So did a good job.
Actually, we have to remember to make our Survivor pick this week.
That is true.
Or at least I do.
Yeah. Now I'm trying to remember who Ronnie and I picked. We'll do that as well.
All right.
When we return on Pirate Radio Live, back with you after this.
It's a story that started in a community like ours. Cal Cunningham grew up in Lexington, where church youth groups working at the local brickyard and McDonald's shaped his life. And now Cal's running a different kind of campaign for the U.S. Senate.
I'm Cal Cunningham. I want my service in the U.S. Senate to be about listening and going places where Democrats don't always go. That's what I learned growing up in Lexington, where we don't check voter registration before taking care of our neighbors. We believe in hard work and service, just like the soldiers I served with overseas.
Cal Cunningham volunteered after 9/11, a lieutenant colonel in the Army Reserve who served 3 tours and took on corrupt government contractors. And Cal will take on the corruption in Washington that's been rigging the system for the drug and insurance companies. That's why Cal's not taking corporate PAC money, because he believes the top 1% don't need more favors. It's regular folks who need a voice. He'll be a senator on our side.
I'm Cal Cunningham, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Cal for NC.
The Man Cave Salon for Men was built on the concept to serve only men. The Man Cave is the place for men to get together and take care of themselves. I'm Amanda from the Man Cave, and we offer professional manicures, pedicures, and a salon for all your hair care needs in a true masculine environment. Go to our website at mancaveandnails.com and book your appointment today. The Man Cave now open on the corner of Evans and Fire Tower. Stop into the Man Cave and get your best life.
Let's turn a trip to the branch into a tap on your phone. Let's hit pause on a lost debit card without hitting pause on life. That's how First National Bank is redefining convenience with a top-rated mobile app that puts more security and control at your fingertips and friendly people to help you succeed right by your side. Let's get started at fnb-online.com or your local First National Bank. FNB member FDIC.
UBE and PirateWear.com are proud to offer the Pirate Nation its largest inventory ever. Brand new Adidas is arriving daily, along with Under Armour, Columbia, and Russell Athletic. UBE is loaded with cargo, and new items are being added daily to PirateWear.com. Be sure to check out our children's store, The Crow's Nest, for all of your young pirates. UBE and PirateWear.com, an ECU tradition for 50 years. Go Pirates!
Domino's week-long carry-out deal means you can carry out 3-topping pizzas for $7.99 each every day. That's right, $7.99 each, and every day means any day. But just in case there's any confusion, we've set up a helpful website to confirm if today's a day you can carry out 3-topping pizzas for $7.99 each at Domino's. Just go to howaboutoday.com to find out if Domino's week-long carry-out deal is valid today. Spoiler alert, it is. Carry out only. You must ask for this limited time offer. Prices, participation, and charges may vary. Excludes extra large and specialty pizzas. Crust availability varies by size.
Do you think you or your employees might have been exposed to COVID-19? ArcPoint Labs of Greenville offers same-day COVID-19 results. No referral needed. Same-day results available. ArcPoint Labs of Greenville offers easy employer solutions to COVID-19 testing. ArcPoint Labs of Greenville is located across from Vidant Hospital on Executive Circle behind Southern Bank. Call for an appointment or walk in. ArcPoint Labs of Greenville, 215-5688 or arcpointlabs.com.
This is Stephen Igoe, publisher of HoistTheColors.net. Recruiting is the lifeblood of any college sports program, and no one devotes more coverage to the future of ECU athletics than Hoist the Colors. Want to know who's going to be the next Holton Ahlers or Jaden Gardner? We've got all the inside scoop on the Pirates' most talented recruits and top targets 24/7. Sign up now and get your first month of coverage for a single $1. HoistTheColors.net, the most reliable reporting on ECU athletics.
Pirate Radio.
ECU Pirates. Can't nobody do what we do. You know. That's right. All right then.
Yeah! The voice of the Pirate Nation. You're listening to Hour 2 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour is brought to you by University PC Care, your local tech support experts for all your business needs. Let University PC Care take care of it so you can take care of business. Visit universitypccare.com to learn more today. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. With approximately 100 locations throughout the Carolinas, First National Bank is helping both individuals and businesses redefine convenience in banking. Visit us today at fnb-online.com. First National Bank, member FDIC. And Clip, as we head back into the show, ESPN just did an article just a few minutes ago. Of course, the Carolina Panthers are playing at home, and they're expecting fans, of course, only a 7% capacity. So to make people feel a little bit safer, they've purchased, get this, a germ... Let me try that again. A germ zapping robot. There's 3 of them. It's called the Xenix Light Strike robot, and it kind of looks like the R2-D2 robot from Star Wars.
Okay.
But apparently, what it does is it goes in and it uses like a UV ray, but it is going to help assure players, coaches, and other employees that they will be working in a safe environment. They're $100,000 a piece. And they're going to be zapping germs in restrooms, concession areas, suites, and other areas of Bank America Stadium.
Zap.
The robots sound more dangerous than
I don't
the
like
virus.
this.
I mean, it's just like,
technology's great, but
according
I'm
to
scared
this,
of robots.
According to the president of the company that makes the robots, the robot was proven by the Texas Biomedical Research Institute to be 99.99% effective at killing the coronavirus within 2 minutes of contact.
2 minutes of contact. How about
not 100% though?
Nah, that .0001.
I mean, what are the chances that it's only 99.99 and not 100? I mean, why can't you just make it all the way 100% foolproof?
That's right. What happened that one time? And
that worries me.
Thank you, Shirley.
You're welcome
for that.
Yeah,
I love robot news. Terrifies me.
I just thought it was interesting because it's like all of a sudden out of nowhere there's these 3 robots and they're supposedly zapping germs.
So like Teddy Bridgewater is like in the urinal and doing his business or whatever, and the
robot just kind of swings on in.
Yeah, are these things going to be just moving around the stadium during the game? Like, can fans interact with them?
I don't know. I don't know where they. I mean, obviously they're going to be placed in high traffic areas, but I don't know.
Like
I
the
mean,
line of scrimmage. It's going to go through the offense and defense.
Well, I mean, if you've ever been, like, for example, Walmart, they have these robotic, like, sweeper things.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like somebody should be driving it, but there's no one driving it. It is going in and out of aisles, and you're trying to duck and weave from people, and now you've got these robotic, humanless machines in your way as well.
Yeah, I've watched Westworld. I've watched iRobot. I'm a little nervous about the robots taking over, Shirley. So
Yeah, well, me too.
All right, so that is a nice segue into our NFL segment. Igoe. We starting any Broncos or Jets tonight?
I have a few in my start sit. Questions, I don't have them in my lineup. I'm basically waiting to see what's going to happen with Philip Lindsay because I have him in both leagues. My running back situation in both leagues stinks. So if he's active, I'll start him. But it sounds like they're trending towards not being active.
Need to see what Crowder's deal is as well. And we'll get to that in a moment. Let's go ahead and start with the questions. Josh asked Cam Newton or Joe Burrow. Cam has the Chiefs, I believe, and the Bungles this week are playing who? Igoe? Oh, yeah, the Jaguars. I would definitely play Joe Burrow.
I'm starting Burrow. As much as I like Cam and as much as he can put up some huge fantasy points at times with his ground attack.
And I could see them scoring against Kansas City, honestly. But
I could see them trying to just make this the slowest pace game ever.
Right.
And doing nothing but try to pick up 3.5 yards to rush and sustain drives. And Belichick is good at doing that. But, yeah, there's also a chance the Chiefs jump on them early and they're just done.
Yeah, but, I mean, garbage time Cam, he can sling it still. So I like Joe Burrow. That seems like a high-scoring
game. It's a better
game.
matchup for sure.
Yeah. All right, Casey says Melvin Gordon, Myles Gaskin. He looked good the other night on Thursday Night Football. Antonio Gibson, James White. What's up with Melvin Gordon, Igoe?
Well, he's the Broncos, basically their only man left standing, which against the Bucks last week, the Bucks just loaded the box and blitzed every play, and they couldn't do anything with them. So, but the Jets, I don't think the Jets have a good defense, so maybe you could sneak in a touchdown tonight, but he's not a huge play in my opinion. Gaskin, who are the Dolphins playing?
The Seahawks.
Yeah, I don't like that matchup. James White is supposedly back at practice.
So you just got to know the week to play Patriots
running backs are, gosh, no.
Because like Rex Burkhead won your game last week for you if you had him, but he wasn't even rostered. I don't think.
And then I just picked him up, and now I'm like, why did I pick him up? Because he's never going to, this was his game. He's not going to do it again.
Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. Like, James White is going to have a game where he wins your week for you, but you don't know which week it's going to be. Now, if they get down, who's Cam going to throw it to? Probably James White, a bunch out of the backfield, so you get some points that way. Antonio Gibson, I mean, I don't like starting any Washington players against Baltimore this week. I mean, I would start Terry McLaurin. But I don't know, man. I would probably stay away from him.
I'm thinking Gordon or Gaskin.
Gaskin. Does it matter if Lindsey plays tonight with Gordon?
I think he's coming back from turf toe, so I think he would get very limited reps. So I'm honestly, I don't know. I could see this game being like 13-10, but I think Gordon finds the end zone.
Oh, dear.
I don't feel great about it, though.
You know what? Belichick, I'm going to go James White. Kind of a flyer, but we'll see what happens. All right, Chad says pick 2, Nyheim Hines, Frank Gore, Philip Lindsay. I mean,
it sounds like Lindsay probably won't play.
So that makes it easy.
If he does play, I would go, man, your running backs are not good.
Hines and Lindsay.
I mean, Frank Gore is, you're basically banking on a 1-yard touchdown at some point.
Yeah. Chad, I don't know what you think this is. This is not like brag about your team. Kyler Murray or Pat Mahomes?
Get out of here, Chad. Quit being a Chad, man.
What a Chad. Like, why? You know what? Drop Pat Mahomes if this is such a big question for you. Chad, you're
I'm not answering this question.
And how about this next question from Chad? Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Chris Carson, Jordan Howard, Sony Michel, pick 2.
I mean,
Clyde Edwards-Helaire starts every week. Chris Carson, if healthy, starts. Chad, what are you doing? This is 2 years in a row. He's doing this on purpose. That he's just asking. Like last year was me and Zach, and he would ask asinine questions.
He just wants to get on the show, man.
He would break the fantasy rules. Well, ask a real question like his first one. He doesn't have to ask.
Well, he should have done pick one, Chris Carson, if injured.
Right.
Jordan
you
Howard or
start Clyde Edwards-Helaire. You start Pat Mahomes.
All right, so let's go here. Jordan,
are you 8 years old?
Jordan Howard or Sonny Michel? That's the only real question here. If Chris Carson's out, I'm going Jordan Howard.
I hate these Patriots running backs so much.
I have Sonny Michel and Rex Burkhead in the same league. And
I have James White.
And I'm just going to keep him on my bench because I don't want to start him and then them not do anything.
And if you drop them, you know they're going to go
100%.
off. So, all right. Maybe we should have a pact where you start both of yours. I'll start James White. One of us
will have a good day.
Yeah. And the other will just have to bite the bullet on it. All right. Taylor says Nick Foles or Daniel Jones.
Ew. I mean, Nick Foles.
Yeah, I would probably start him against the Colts instead of Jones. Giants play the Rams. I have no interest in that Giants
I'm not starting Daniel Jones anywhere.
Yeah, we're on the Foles
Nick
train.
Foles.
Daniel says DK Metcalf or Cooper Kupp. I love DK. I mean, he had that blunder last week at the 1 yard line, but did come back and score a touchdown. I feel like he's almost
must start now.
Yeah, and more consistent than Kupp.
Kupp is the Rams offense in general is just weird.
They got a running back situation, right? Where you don't know which guy to play. I'm gonna go Metcalf. N'Keal Harry or Jamison Crowder. I need to look.
Do we know Crowder's status?
Somebody's got to do something tonight offensively. Like, it's not just going to be a punt fest.
Braxton Berrios?
He scored, was it last week or 2 weeks ago?
He caught an awesome touchdown from Darnold. That was actually an incredible play. And then I think Darnold proceeded to throw an interception shortly after. But
the latest on Crowder, he is questionable. He will give it a go versus Denver. That was at 8:18 a.m. So
hamstrings with the receivers. Is that what he's dealing with? That worries me.
Yep, a hammy.
But N'Keal Harry, he's been decent.
I don't know. Your game flow now that you think the Chiefs might get ahead. I think it's more like just back and forth, kind of slower than Chiefs blow them out and Cam has to play catch up. If you think it's going to be a Chiefs runaway and Cam's going to be throwing late, then play Harry and James White and those guys. I'm going to go with...
If Crowder plays, I guess just start Crowder.
Yeah.
Because he's the only weapon the Jets had.
He really is.
The Broncos don't really have an elite D right now.
Steve says Sonny Michel or Devontae Freeman. Look, this is what the segment's all about.
Oh, gosh.
It's not about what good players to start. It's that last flex spot. So... it's a real situation. What did Freeman do last week? I'm going to guess nothing.
He got some carries, but he didn't do anything because the Giants suck.
Which is kind of what I said. He only got 5 carries, 10 yards.
5 carries for 10 yards.
Had a long rush of 6 yards.
So he really struggled on those other 4 carries.
Sonny Michel.
Yeah,
I'm not starting Freeman.
No, until he does something. Sonny Michel actually had a big day last week, which worries me because now I feel like he's going to do nothing.
That's why I like James White this week. It's like roulette.
Sony.
Redbeard says Greg Olsen or Jared Cook. What year is this? These guys have been mainstays.
Some great catches last week in crunch time. He seems to be Russell Wilson's kind of like safety net guy.
Remember when the Seahawks were run it with Marshawn Lynch and have the top defense in the league, and now they're the opposite?
Yeah.
They are the most fun team in the league because they give up long plays and score long touchdowns. Jared Cook, probably.
Olsen.
Okay. T.Y. Hilton, CeeDee Lamb, Golden Tate. How did Hilton do in the grandma game last week?
I don't know. You've been on T.Y. Hilton the past 2 weeks, so I hope he's done something.
They just crushed the Jets right out of the gate, so they probably didn't even throw the ball that much last week. And every Colts receiver keeps going down. I keep picking them up. First it was Paris Campbell, and he got hurt, and then it was Pittman, and I think he got hurt. T.Y. Hilton's the last man standing. He should get a ton of targets. 3 for 52. Didn't find the end zone, so that's kind of a disappointing day.
3 targets, though.
3 targets.
What's Phillip Rivers doing?
Phillip, what are you doing? Did Phillip throw a pick last week? He did not. Wow. 17 of 21. He's throwing little dump offs. By the way, Well, was it us talking during the game that Drew Brees can't throw the ball over 7 yards?
Yes, because I had Emmanuel Sanders, and all he would do is just throw to Alvin Kamara, which, I mean, if you're going to throw to somebody every play, you want to throw to Alvin Kamara. But it was, as somebody who owns a Saints receiver that runs more than 10 yards down the field, it was incredibly frustrating.
I'm glad Kamara got paid because they're going to kill that guy just throwing him the ball 15 times a game. It reminded me of what the Panthers did with McCaffrey last year, just give him the ball pretty much every play. Why were we talking about
T.Y. Hilton, C.D. Lamb, or Golden Tate? I don't even know. I couldn't even tell you who Golden Tate plays for now. So I'm going C.D. Lamb.
I think he's a Giant.
I'm definitely not starting if he plays for the Giants.
I think he's a Giant.
So give me C.D. Lamb.
C.D. Lamb. I'm going to ride with T.Y. Hilton. I can't get off the
Just pick him every week until he finally scores.
I can't get off the Hilton train right now.
Red Beard team stinks.
I had a guy blow up on my bench last week, and that guy was Justin Jefferson.
I tell you what, I got
a monstrous performance.
I got a great Justin Jefferson question later.
Is it better than this one? Justin Jefferson, Jamison Crowder, Keelan Cole.
Is that his real name?
Yeah.
I thought it was Keenan.
Well, you clearly shouldn't be doing this segment.
Jefferson.
Yeah. And because I don't think he's not going to do that again.
No.
He have like 200 yards almost.
Yeah,
but
crushed it.
He's a player.
He's good. I mean, he was
not a 1 week wonder.
Yeah, I think it was just a matter of when. I look at him and Jerry Jeudy in the same light. Like soon enough, he's had that baseline. Jefferson kind of had a baseline going into each week, and then he exploded. If Jeudy had a quarterback, he could do the same. But here we are.
Here we are. Ronald Jones or James White. Let me see what Jonesy did last week and why.
Yeah.
13 carries, 53 yards. So he's getting touches.
He's been solid every week.
Did he have catches? Ronald Jones had 2 for 20. So I'm hurt at running back, and I got to start one of these guys this week. And also at James Conner, who, by the way, remove your Titans and Steelers, folks. You said Jones?
I'm going Jones. I mean, but you're on the White bandwagon.
Yeah.
I feel like you're going White here. Who do the Bucks play?
Game time decision. Bucks are 7-point favorites against somebody.
So they could pound the football.
Bad. And I'll have to pull up the schedule here in a moment. Our guy, LaVisca, didn't do much last week as Minshew Mania came crashing down. I got
James White questions do you have?
I got a lot of shares of James White. LaVisca, Russell Gage,
man.
James White or TJ Hawkinson.
TJ Hawkinson has just been underwhelming since I drafted him in a dynasty league last year.
He's like the second coming of not quite Eifert. Kyle Rudolph?
Yeah.
Like, oh man, this guy's good, and he has like 1 catch for 8 yards every week.
I did a bad thing, and I had the choice between T.J. Hawkinson or Noah Fant, and everybody was like, Hawkinson is going to be better.
I thought he was going to have a good year.
And I didn't pick my Bronco, and now I regret it. So I'm definitely not going Hawkinson.
Bucks play the Chargers, by the way.
Russell Gage.
Yeah, that's kind of where I was leaning. They're going to keep playing shootouts, right?
That's what they do.
I'm going to take.
And they play at a game that's going to be a shootout. Falcons, Packers, like that is a 34-31 game.
Mark has one that I had to write down, got in late. Justin Jefferson, DJ Moore, or Sammy Watkins. Chandler, let's get Chandler in here for a minute. What's DJ Moore done so far this season, Chandler? He's no Robbie Anderson, I can tell you that.
Well, he's kind of behind Robbie Anderson. Robbie Anderson's kind of in his way when it comes to production, but he did get a big-time catch late in the game last week to kind of seal the deal. I wouldn't shy away from DJ Moore.
I mean, he's kind of I don't know, how are him and Sammy Watkins as far as names go? I think DJ Moore's the biggest name on this list, but Justin Jefferson's that hot kid.
Watkins has been quietly productive this year when healthy. Yeah. Outside of the one game he had the concussion. The Vikings play a team.
Yeah, NFL team.
And they're actually going to play, right?
Yeah. Texans.
Texans stink. Man, a lot of 0-3 matchups this week, and by a lot, I mean 2.
You're going to go back to the Jefferson?
I'm going Jefferson.
Wow, let's do it. Maybe. What if he's the real? What if he has 200 yards every week? It's the next Randy Moss. All right, Igoe, what are your questions this week?
So I also have a Justin Jefferson question, and I would be starting Justin Jefferson no matter what outside of the fact that I already have Adam Thielen as my number one receiver, and I don't know if I can start 2 Vikings receivers on one fantasy team.
I understand. I hesitate to do that as well.
So I'm choosing between, for the flex spot, Justin Jefferson, Jerry Jeudy, because Chris Godwin is doubtful. He probably will not play. And
I wish it was Julio Jones, because all your guys would have JJ as initials. And you would just start him.
Allen Lazard. Who has been
That's his number one guy, right?
That's who I have in the lineup right now.
And they play the Falcons.
Mm-hmm.
You know what, Igoe? You know what you call that? You call that a good problem to have. Because you got some good players there, I got to tell you.
I would feel better if I had Chris Godwin, but I do like my receiving corps because I also have Thielen and Will Fuller.
When all things are equal, I kind of like having the Monday night guy. You feel like you got a shot. But even better than that, I like a Monday night guy playing the Falcons defense. So let's go with Lazard.
We'll roll with Lazard. And then I have a question in my other league as well. Let me pull it up. All right. My running backs are terrible. And so I have Adrian Peterson and Zach Moss starting right now.
Doesn't it feel like every year you play fantasy football, you say my running backs are terrible?
They are, because it's the same league. This is a dynasty league.
Oh. But it's like, it doesn't matter who you draft. Yeah. There's injuries, things happen, and every year you're struggling at running back. All right. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So I'm trying to decide, pick 2 running backs between these guys. Adrian Peterson, Zach Moss, Chris Thompson, Latavius Murray, Rex Burkhead.
Not Burkhead, because he's going to have 0 this week.
Yeah. I'm leaning Moss and Peterson.
What has Zach Moss done?
He missed last week, but he's been getting basically a little over half the carries above Singleton when healthy.
Is it PPR?
Yes.
Chris Thompson had like 5 or 6 catches last week, but he doesn't really, that's all he does.
And then Murray outrushes Kamara, but Kamara has so many catches it doesn't really matter.
They play Murray quite a bit.
Yeah. And then the only other question, I think I'm going to go with Moss and Peterson.
I don't know.
Final flex spot, T. Higgins, who had 2 touchdowns last week, Emmanuel Sanders, who I about cussed out, or Rob Gronkowski.
Not Gronk. Although, didn't I read he had his most productive game last week?
He was targeted a lot.
Oh, wow.
Basically, T. Higgins or Sanders.
I know you're going to hate when I say this, but Emmanuel Sanders. Is Michael Thomas playing?
I think he's supposed to be back.
Sanders got a touchdown for you. I know how frustrating you were.
He finally, and after that, they kept targeting him.
Yeah. I would go to get Sanders again.
T. Higgins.
Okay. Hey, he's more fun. I'll give you that.
But I'm probably starting Sanders.
All right, there it is. Week 4 fantasy football start sit. When we return, we will make a pick for ECU and Georgia State. By the way, on Monday when Ronnie was here, I made ECU my survivor pick. And on our press box Zoom, I picked Georgia State to beat ECU. So when we return, I got all the bases covered. When we return, I will break the tie and make my official pick for ECU Georgia State. That's on the way right after this.
This is Pirate Radio, WGHB Farmville, 1250 and 92.7 FM Greenville, WDLX Washington, 930 and 104.1 FM Washington.
This is Sam Jones inviting you to join us for lunch, dinner, or takeout at Sam Jones Barbecue. At Sam Jones, you'll find our smokehouse pumping out fresh food cooked over wood every single day. That's our Eastern North Carolina whole hog barbecue, slow-cooked chicken, smoked turkey, and spare ribs. There are no freezers here. Everything, and we mean everything, is made fresh daily, including our sides, sweets, and sauces. Come on over and see us at Sam Jones Barbecue, and I'll bet you'll be able to taste the difference in just one bite. Sam Jones Barbecue, Fire Tower Road.
May 2020, a riot erupts in downtown Greenville. Small businesses are looted. The county courthouse windows are smashed. American flags are torn down and burned. Liberal State House candidate Brian Farkas refused to condemn the violence. Instead, Farkas attacked our police by calling for a radical statewide oversight committee that would bypass our local elected sheriff and district attorney. Farkas even took a $5,400 donation from a group which explicitly seeks to defund our local police at a time when we need them most. State Representative Dr. Perrin Jones has taken a different approach. He's working with Democrats and Republicans in Pitt County to institute meaningful reforms that protect victims of crime and the rule of law, all while honoring those who put their lives on the line for us every day.
I'm Dr. Perrin Jones, and I'll stand up for our boys here in Pitt County and across North Carolina.
Dr. Perrin Jones for State House, paid for by supporters of Perrin Jones.
Medicare is not one size fits all, but which plan is right for you? Hi, I'm Denise Walker, and I'm a licensed insurance agent here in North Carolina. Whether you are turning 65, new to Medicare, or already have a plan, I can help you compare your Medicare options. I can help you find a plan offering low to no monthly premiums, prescription drug coverage, and a wide range of additional benefits like dental, hearing, vision, and more. Call me today at 434-531-5674 to get a no-cost, no-obligation Medicare benefits review.
There have been many changes in the automotive world. At Phelps Chevrolet, the Phelps boys are here to take care of you. Mike, Daryl, and 4 of Mr. Phelps' grandsons, Wade, West, Allen, and Clay. You see, things at Phelps remain the same. The Phelps team has served Eastern North Carolina for over 50 years. We make your visit easy and fun. We are your neighbors, and that's what neighbors do. Phelps Chevrolet in Greenville. Like Mr. Phelps' great-granddaughter says, come in and get you one.
It's time to get back in the saddle with Rocking Horse Ranch. Join us Saturday, November 14th for an evening filled with games and prizes to support the reopening of the Rocking Horse Ranch Therapeutic Riding Program. Rocking Horse Ranch provides a fun and unique therapy program to our special needs, cancer, and veterans community. The horses miss their favorite students and can't wait to see them again soon. And Rocking Horse cannot do this without you. Join us November 14th to get back in the saddle or visit rhrnc.com for more information.
How much does the word reliable mean? Sure, all businesses describe themselves as reliable, and we certainly wouldn't expect any business to be unreliable, but when you take a word like reliable and make it your way of life, the entire core of your business, it tends to mean a little more. And it's something you have to show people, not tell them. At Delcor, we show it by being there the same day you call. We show it by simply doing outstanding work with exceptional products, a family-oriented work ethic, and genuine caring for all of our neighbors throughout Eastern NC, because in a time of need, we know the first and the only thing you need is someone you can count on. That's why we only use equipment you can count on too, like a train comfort system. It's hard to stop a train. Delcor can have a new train comfort system installed in no time, or we can provide an AC tune-up to make sure your system is performing well. So will your system keep you cool all summer? Find out. Call us. We're Delcor, the service professionals, reliable for over 4 decades. Visit DelcorInc.com today.
This is ECU assistant football coach Roy Tesh, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to Hour 2 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour is brought to you by University PC Care, your local tech support experts for all your business needs. Let University PC Care take care of it so you can take care of business. Visit universitypccare.com to learn more today. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. UBE is an ECU tradition and has been for over 50 years. Shop online anytime at pirateware.com. UBE has the biggest and best selection of ECU sportswear and accessories for pirates of all ages. Every day is game day at UBE. Now let's head back into Pirate Radio Live. Here's your host, Clip Brock.
All righty, we got Troy D coming up in hour 3. We've got a new Pirate Radio podcast, which is coming up tonight at 6 o'clock. As Ellerby will talk to motivational speaker and best-selling author John Gordon. That's coming up tonight at 6 o'clock. Also, his wife, Catherine, will be on the program as well. So that'll come up tonight at 6 o'clock. You can also subscribe to the Pirate Radio podcast in your Apple store to listen as well. And after that, we got a thriller between Igoe's Broncos and the Jets. Even at full strength, not a great matchup, but with Locke, Bell, well, you could have some star power in this game, but
Von Miller,
but everybody's out. So
Jamison Crowder is a big star.
Have your programs ready tonight to figure out who is actually playing for these two teams. when they face off. Quick question from Will. Igoe, what is the status of all the D linemen that did not dress last weekend?
Well, you got a mix of guys. Some of them just aren't ready to play. Some of them are coming back from COVID. Some of them have injuries. So you really only, for the travel squad, you only need probably 11 to 12 defensive linemen at most. So that's probably all that will travel this week to Georgia State. You can only take so many guys. So a lot of those guys are just still coming along with either their rehab or getting back into their return to play protocol stuff. So it's a combination of things. Every case is different. They've all had a little something different going on, or they're just not ready to dress out right now.
So the guys we saw last week will be the guys we see this week?
Yeah, more than likely. I mean, there's a chance you could see like a JVM McCray or Kazai Everett as the season goes along. If they get back healthy, could make an impact. But I think the guys you saw last week, especially right now with Chris Willis and Jason Romero, if they're able to come back, they're going to play as well. And so that will give you 13 guys, counting the 11 that played in the front four last week. So I don't think you're going to see too many more.
All right, folks, I made a bit of an error. But really, I'm allowed to change my mind as the week rolls along, right?
Each day is a new day.
I got a little emotional with my picking on Monday when Ronnie was here with the Survivor pool. And I got caught up a little bit, and I said, give me ECU. And I still think they can win this game. They need to win this game on Saturday. But then we did our press box predictions on a Zoom, which is available to watch. It was a entertaining one with Bailey, Weave, Meador, Troy D, myself. And I picked Georgia State. I was the only person to pick Georgia State to win. I think it's going to be a close one, high scoring. I said 42-40. It's a lot of points. So I can't have both teams, right? That's just not cool. So let me change my Survivor pick to Cincinnati this week, Igoe.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and take Cincinnati. I'm going to save... Crap. I already took UCF too. Okay, I'm going to end up losing this thing.
You're going to have to take ECU
at some point. Yeah, maybe next week.
Maybe next week if they win.
So give me Cincinnati. And Igoe, who are you taking this week?
I'm going to take the Pirates of East Carolina.
So you are going to take ECU.
I'm going to take ECU. You and Ronnie both towed the line. You went over the edge, and now you're returning to the surface, and you're going in a completely different direction. I don't feel great about this game. I think there's still too many unknowns on ECU side, but I think they're going to play with a sense of urgency this week. And this will be a big win if they could pull it off.
They would,
given the state of the program. I think this is a huge game for both teams, and I think ECU finds a way to win a close one.
Well, I don't have to ask you who you like in our picks, because Georgia State, actually, I wrote this -1. I've looked at it since then. Georgia State's favored by 2.5 now, and it's gone up. So I'm going to take, which I have ECU losing by 2.
Yeah.
But on this sheet, it's -1. Yeah. So I'll take
Georgia State.
I'll take Georgia State. You'll take East Carolina plus the 1 point. You take the Pirates to win the game. All right. By the way, last week Igoe and I were both 4-2, and we won and lost different games. So we both had a pretty good week last week.
6-game week.
Yeah, because of we had a 4-game week the week before. Memphis, SMU. Oh, I'm 12-8 overall. You're 10-10, but you started awful, so you've already made your comeback to 500. Well done. Memphis, SMU, great game.
Yeah,
and this will be after the ECU game. So after you're done watching the Pirates, while you're listening to the fifth quarter, you can tune into this one. SMU is a home dog to Memphis. Memphis favored by 3. I really want to take SMU here, Igoe, but I don't know if I can trust them, especially defensively.
They have not looked great. The problem in Memphis is, aren't they coming off their... They had a situation with COVID, which worries me a little bit. What is their team personnel going to be like? This one I'm really torn on, and I don't know what to do. And I'm stalling because I don't know what to do. And you're scrolling, so I'm going to kick it back to you. What are you going to do?
Give me the Memphis Tigers.
SMU.
All right, Bama Lama, 17.5 point favorite against A&M. Really? That simple.
Everybody is on A&M this year, like the surprise SEC team. I'll believe it when I see it. Alabama.
Jalen Waddle is amazing.
He is.
He had some just freaky catches last week. And after he catches it, if he's on his feet, he can run.
I mean, they just print out top 5, top 10 receivers every year.
Yeah. I mean, remember when they used to just have those running backs?
Yeah. No.
And they still do, by the way. They have everything.
Just have the receivers.
Ah, man. 17.5 is a lot. Give me Texas A&M. I'm going to regret that. Georgia, minus 6.5 against Auburn. I don't like Georgia.
What's their quarterback situation? The guy still hasn't been cleared, right?
Is it Daniels? I think he has
JT
been cleared.
Daniels? Oh, he has?
I believe.
So he didn't play last week, but now he's cleared?
I believe so. I don't care. I'm going to take Auburn in this game.
Auburn.
I can hear in your voice you're confident about that one.
That was not, I might change my pick there, but we'll get to this next.
We're all about changing picks here on the show. Oklahoma lost last week, and they are a 7-point favorite against Iowa State on the road. Wager likes Iowa State. I don't like Oklahoma either.
I don't like either of these teams. Iowa State got crushed by Louisiana, right? But that's what they do every year. They lose to like some FCS or Group of 5 team, and they end up having a really good year, including a big upset. So, but is Oklahoma really going to lose to Kansas State and Iowa State in back-to-back weeks? I'm going to say no, and I'm going to go Sooners.
Iowa State beat TCU last week on the road. Maybe this is the year Oklahoma loses 2 games, doesn't make the playoffs. Maybe it happens here. Give me Iowa State. So we got a lot of picks apart this week, Igoe. Something's got to
be a big swing week.
All right. You said you think ECU and Georgia State play in the upper 20s on Saturday?
Upper 20s, low 30s. I mean, I'm going 34-27 ECU.
Okay. And what kind of game does ECU play?
A game where they score 34 points.
How many times will they run the football?
I think it'll be very balanced. I think it'll be 38 throws and 41 runs.
If they lose and they run the ball like they did last week, like the fifth quarter is going to melt down again.
Well, if they lose, period, I think the fifth quarter is going to melt down because people, even though they realize ECU's in a rebuilding phase, it still will not be acceptable to lose to a Sun Belt team.
What does that mean? You're not going to accept the loss?
No, I'm just saying from the fan base's perspective. Again, I know in my case.
I know. Yeah, this game doesn't matter. Nothing matters to Igoe.
I'm just saying, if ECU loses to Georgia State in football, there's going to be a major reaction.
Yeah, and we'll hear about it after the game on the U.S. Cellular fifth quarter call-in show. Rick Smith will be here breaking it down. And I think either way, it's going to be. I'm jagged up for this game. Like I think it's going to be a fun game.
It's
a close game.
It's an interesting game. We haven't seen these two teams play before, which is always fun, I think. And it's a game ECU can win, and they're not outmatched. So I think this will tell a lot. And if you got Mike Houston's staff against a game where the talent is pretty even, I'm going to take Mike Houston's staff more times than not.
Okay, I like that as a tiebreaker, as an edge, if you will, the coaching staff. You know when the return trip is for Georgia State?
2027.
Okay, I was just making sure I read that right earlier while I was talking to Dave Cohen. I was like, what do we play next year, a couple years from now? 2027.
A long time away.
That's kind of spaced out.
It used to be, originally I think it was 2025 and 2028, and then they moved the series around.
10-4. This is a confer schedule?
This is a confer schedule.
All right. Kenny Curling's 45-17 Pirates.
Again, I don't think Georgia State is that bad.
And he's in Atlanta, a 1-minute walk to the stadium.
Wow.
Is that accurate? Because you're literally you are at the stadium.
Basically, he lives right by Turner Field.
Yes.
I honestly don't hate this series. I wouldn't mind them re-upping for 2 more games.
Let's see how Saturday goes.
I think a trip to Atlanta is fun.
Yeah, but you will not be making it this year.
I will not.
Which is good for us.
To re-up it.
You'll be with us on the Bud Light pregame tailgate. So we'll see you then, Igoe.
And I will intentionally not wear purple.
right. As long as you don't wear blue, you can't wear that shirt you wore last week because that is Georgia State's color.
Maybe is Georgia State sponsored by Under Armour too? Because then I could definitely wear that just to spite all ECU fans.
They're going to make some folks mad bright and early Saturday morning. Thanks for hanging out, Steven.
Thanks for having me, Clip.
You're welcome. We'll take a time out, come back, and have hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live. Troy D will join me. We'll hear from Donnie K, Donnie Kirkpatrick, and Blake Harrell. Also loading up the booty bag. Shirley, what are we giving away on this lovely Thursday?
Pops.
Pops! Guess what Shirley had for lunch today? Pops! Guess what Shirley had from Pops?
Pops. Hamburger steak.
She went with Old Faithful, the hamburger steak. It smelled awesome, and I'm sure it tasted awesome to Shirley Rhodes. We'll give you a $10 gift card to Pops coming up in hour number 3 of today's show. And everybody is eligible. It's a new month. It's October 1st. So we'll do that and more in hour number 3 of Pirate Radio Live after this.
Georgia State, yeah.
Hello, Pirate Nation. This is Representative John Bell, the Majority Leader of the North Carolina House, and it has been an honor serving the people of Eastern North Carolina the last 8 years. I've had the privilege of working with your local representatives, Dr. Perrin Jones and Chris Humphrey, as they delivered hundreds of millions of dollars in COVID relief funding to our small businesses, healthcare providers, and families right here in Pitt County. Unfortunately, their opponents are funded by radical liberal out-of-state donors that want to destroy our agriculture heritage, defund the police, and silence your voice by buying this election. This is not North Carolina. We cannot and will not let this happen. Dr. Perrin Jones and Chris Humphrey are focused on solutions, not revolutions. They will make sure your voice is heard and represent our Eastern North Carolina values. So Pirate Nation, the choice is clear. On November 3rd, please support and vote for Dr. Perrin Jones and Chris Humphrey for the North Carolina House. Strong voices for Eastern North Carolina. Paid for by the John Bell Committee.
Here with Mike Mullis from Fixed NC. And Mike, you were telling me the other day, people ask you all the time, I didn't know you did that. What does that mean?
You know, anything that involves property damage repair, call us first. If it's your crawl space, you've got interior humidity issues, a water loss, your ice maker line breaks, obviously fire and smoke, everybody knows we do those. But anything that involves interior or exterior property damage, we're your repair experts.
Mike, how can everybody get in touch with you?
252-999-0001 or fixednc.com.
Hey Pirate Nation, this is proud ECU graduate and former baseball player Brandon Manning inviting you to join my team at Farm Bureau Insurance. Right now, during hurricane season, is a good time to review your coverage with a local trusted agent like me. I will make myself available before or after business hours, and my clients always have my cell phone number if they need anything. From home, auto, or life, give me a call today and let's talk about your insurance coverage and about the Pirates. Call 531-1812 and go Pirates!
Hi, I'm Annalie Newhoff.
And I'm Rob Campbell.
And we are with CopyPro. We have been locally owned and operated here in Eastern North Carolina for almost 50 years. CopyPro is the leader in office technology.
Does your business struggle with keeping printing costs low or producing professional documents? Here at CopyPro, total customer satisfaction is our #1 priority.
We have a variety of solutions to help reduce your printing expenses and make your business more productive. Call us today at 1-800-682-6558 or online at copypro.net.
CopyPro, we are the professional office systems people.
Hi, this is Billy Parker, and football is here. Tailgate at home with family and friends this season and let Parker's Barbecue do all the cooking. While tailgating at your house, let us provide all the food with our delicious chicken, barbecue, seafood, and sides. We can customize packages for any size group, big or small. Give us a call today and place your order. Parker's and football, a winning combination. Also shipping nationwide at parkersbbq.com. Parker's Barbecue is how friends and family come together.
You know texting while driving is dangerous. That's not new information. Yet most people admit to doing it anyway. Drivers are 23 times more likely to be involved in a car accident while texting. Know the facts and wait to text. The danger is real and it applies to you. Auto Owners Insurance. The no problem people. Information provided by Virginia Tech Transportation Institute.
This is Norm Bryant with Town Insurance in Greenville. Call me today at 756-8300. Go Pirates.
Hey, this is Jay from Villa Verde. Did you know that Villa Verde opened up its second location? Yes, it's Villa Verde Dos on Arlington Boulevard across the hospital. This new location is a fast, casual environment where you can make your own bowls for only $9.95. Choose from our fresh ingredients from our toppings bars or enjoy an amazing rotisserie chicken. We promise you can be in and out in less than 15 minutes. For a quick, healthy meal at an affordable price, visit us at Villa Verde Dos on Arlington Boulevard. Villa Verde, a platform for good.
This is Pirate Radio, WGHB Farmville, 1250 and 92.7 FM Greenville, WDLX Washington, 930 and 104.1 FM Washington. You're listening to Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour of PRL is brought to you by Bud Light, reminding pirate fans to stay in the game and drink responsibly. Bud Light, the official beer of the ECU Pirates, and proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Domino's of Greenville has 3 locations to take care of you. Take advantage of the week-long carry-out deal of all 3 topping pizzas for only $7.99. Order online today at domino's.com. Now let's head back into Pirate Radio Live. Here's your host, Clip Rock.
All right, big hour 3 on the way of Pirate Radio Live. We will open up the booty bag. Everyone is eligible to call 317-1250. We'll do that later on this hour. And Troy D hanging out inside the Pirate Radio studios for the 3rd time this week.
Yeah.
Welcome back, Troy.
Good to see you again, Clip. I just talked to a potential sponsor that might want to get into booty bag. Future booty item.
Interesting.
Perhaps.
Very interesting. We'll do
new booty?
In many ways, yes. I don't want to spill the beans just yet because we haven't finalized things. But,
okay.
It is making very good progress.
Awesome. We will give away Pops today, Troy D. $10 gift card to Pops to one of our loyal listeners. So got that on the way. Got some Donnie Kirkpatrick and Blake Harrell comments to play for you and to digest as well, Troy D.
That sounds good. Look forward to it. And I have our last week we were all over at Clip Rock. We being the Pirate Radio Zoom Room Press Box crew. Me, you, Brian Bailey, Billy Weaver. Who am I leaving off?
Brian Meador.
That's right.
Sorry, Meador.
So we did our game predictions. I like to take these predictions and then average all the scores to see what the group think is. And last week, the group think was almost right on the money. So I'm going to give you that group think total today. The aggregate number.
You are really fascinated by this.
Well, we're 1-0 with this, so I want to see if...
Let's keep it going.
Yeah.
Let's keep it... Now,
You went against the grain.
I did.
They say.
Yeah.
But your score still, so you bump up the total for Georgia State.
Correct.
Because I'll explain that later.
All right.
We'll
dive into the numbers.
Clip his old Rooster Neck prediction.
Oh, Rooster Neck. I've taken over...
For you long-time listeners.
Weaver's role as Rooster Neck this week.
That's all right. Someone's got to do it.
We'll dive into that and talk Pirates and Panthers. When we return on Pirate Radio Live, we're back with you hour 3 after this.
Hey Pirate Nation, this is Tom Brown from Brown & Wood Cadillac. We've been serving the Pirate Nation in Eastern North Carolina for 83 years. We have 4 brands, 3 generations, 2 showrooms, and 1 goal to make sure you leave a happy customer.
This month at Brown & Wood, get an all-new 2020 Cadillac Escalade and save over $13,000 off. As always, Brown & Wood is the home of the lifetime warranty.
We're located on Greenville Boulevard next to the Convention Center, or shop us online at brownandwoodauto.com.
Hey guys, do you have those yellow overgrown toenails? Is your lady complaining that you have rough feet? If you're embarrassed to wear flip-flops or sandals, then the Man Cave is the spot for you. The Man Cave is Greenville's newest premier destination that provides professional manicures, pedicures, and hair services for men only. We even offer a special membership if you dare to join the Gentlemen's Club. What happens in the Man Cave stays in the Man Cave. So book your appointment today at mancaveandnails.com. Friends that groom together, stay together.
Ahoy, mateys! To keep those cars clean, you need the Pirates Cove Fast Pass.
The new Pirates Cove Car Wash and Haviland Express Lube on Glen Burnie Road in New Bern is now open. Pirates Cove is now offering Fast Passes for $9.99 for new Fast Pass customers. These Fast Passes are good in New Bern and at all 3 Greenville locations. Visit us in Greenville on Fire Tower Road, Memorial Drive, and on East 10th Street. And now in New Bern on Glen Burnie Road.
So we have you surrounded. Pirates Cove, the official car wash partner of ECU Athletics.
You don't need a big meeting. You don't need a birthday. You don't need any excuse at all. You just need to love subs. Times 12. Order the Jersey Mike's catering box today. Jersey Mike's. Be a sub above. Tired of cooking at home? Change it up without getting up. Just order Jersey Mike's through our app for no contact delivery or no contact at the door pickup. Jersey Mike's. Be a sub above.
Summertime is here with hot temperatures, thunderstorms, and hurricanes. It's easy to recognize pests invading your home, but a lot of people forget about moisture destroying your home's crawl space. Pest Tech is celebrating its 20th year protecting your homes using dehumidifiers, professional-grade liners, and most importantly, our licensed and highly trained technicians. Visit pesttechofgreenville.com for a free estimate on moisture control and the other silent destroyer, termites. Trust your home to the best. Pest Tech of Greenville, your East Coast exterminating professionals.
It's bow time. You've heard folks say, don't call it a comeback. But the Pork Chop Griller is back at Bojangles, and we don't like to beat around the bush. Because we're talking about a huge, hefty pork chop in all its tender, marinated chili lime glory, served up proud in a fluffy buttermilk biscuit. So we say go ahead, call it a comeback. Pork Chop Grillers are back, only at Bojangles. It's bow time.
Hidden phone trade-ins, hidden plan requirements, hidden catches. You won't find them at US Cellular because we speak fair. Plus, when you switch right now, you can get $500 off the latest phones. Upgrade to fair. Upgrade to US Cellular. Requires new postpaid service plan, new line port in, credit approval, qualified smartphone purchase, and comes via monthly bill credit on a 30-month RIC. Taxes, fees, and additional terms apply.
Does the idea of going to your local U.S. Cellular store make you feel a bit uncomfortable? Tired of the hassle of waiting and wearing a mask? Let Toby Williams and his outside sales team take away that worry. They will come right to your home or office and drop your phone off on the porch or at the front desk for you. Saving you time and worry is what the team at Cellular Warehouse is all about. Call Toby today at 252-799-7051 and let them help you with all of your wireless needs. Cellular Warehouse, your local U.S. Cellular authorized agent.
Pirate Radio.
We are not coming together to just be average. We want to build a program that will year in and year out compete for the American Athletic Conference Championship and compete nationally against any and everybody.
The voice of the Pirate Nation. You're listening to Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour of PRL is brought to you by Bud Light, reminding pirate fans to stay in the game and drink responsibly. Bud Light, the official beer of the ECU Pirates, and proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Hey, University PC Care has been Pirate Nation's go-to IT expert since 2006. University PC Care are the local tech support experts for any business need. Let University PC Care take care of it so you can take care of business. Visit universitypccare.com to learn more today. And take a look at your stock market report. The Dow was up 35 at 27,816. The NASDAQ was ahead 159 at 11,326. And the S&P was up 17 at 3,380. That's your Wells Fargo Advisors Financial Report. For a personal look into investing, call Wells Fargo Advisors today at 756-6900 in Greenville. Wells Fargo Advisors, LLC, member SIPC. Now let's head back in to Pirate Radio Live. Here's your host, Clip Brock.
All right, thank you, Shirley Rhodes, Chandler Honeycutt, also producing today's program, and welcome into Hour 3 of today's show. Playoff baseball going on as we speak, and the A's have the bases loaded. They are down 3-2 to the White Sox in the fourth inning, and the Braves have advanced to the next round. Troy D is here with me. Troy, the Braves... When was the last time before today that the Braves won a playoff series?
A series?
It is a lot longer than you would think.
1996.
Okay, it's shorter than you think. 2001.
All right.
They have been in a major drought when it comes to. They've been a good regular season team, but not a good postseason team. But
you gotta be excited.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
Well, again, it's like,
what are you more excited about? If the Braves were winning or the Redskins were winning?
Probably the Redskins.
Okay.
Just curious. Because I've seen the Braves win a World Series. and have success. I have not seen much success from Washington over the years.
Fair.
Troy is having success with his NFL team, the Chicago Bears. They're 3-0.
Yep.
Now he wants to see some success from his alma mater starting this Saturday, right?
Yes, we hope so. This is I hate to say must-win game for the Pirates, but really kind of to get things on track for the season.
We clarified it, if you want to have a good year,
they got to go down and perform.
You got to win this game.
Yeah.
If you want to have a solid season.
And we did our predictions in the press box,
which you can watch.
Yeah, it was a fun episode, but Bailey was 38-28 Pirates. Weaver was 35-27 Pirates. Meador 43-27 Pirates. I was 31-28 ECU. I think the last kind of field goal, maybe not game-ending field goal, but a field goal could decide this game.
Okay.
That's what I put out there. Clip Brock 42-40 Georgia State.
Yeah.
I understand. No, I respect, and we're not being fans. We're just predicting who we think's going to win.
Yeah.
So if all we did was predict ECU every week, you'd have no credibility.
And I got to tell you, I'm in a great spot here. I haven't even told you this, Troy, but a coach on the ECU football team asked me, "So you think we're giving up 40 this week?" So here's the deal. If I'm right, I'm right, and I get to boast about it. Mm-hmm. If they put up a strong defensive performance,
you get to take credit
because I motivated them.
Yeah,
the coaches are aware of this.
Coach Clip,
this is in the locker room right now. That they're giving up 42. So
it's very possible. I mean, it's not out of the realm of possibility that could happen. I hope it doesn't, but it could. So if you average the scores, the press box crew says ECU 37.4 over Georgia State 30.4.
37 to 30?
Yeah, basically 37 to 30.
Which would be 67. The total Vegas has is 69 at the moment.
Right. So we've,
right around it.
I'm tracking this year to see how it goes.
Yeah.
As like a think tank. A think tank of experts.
We used to look at
local media experts.
We used to look at Odd Sharks, remember?
Right.
And see what they would say.
What do those guys know?
Yeah, well, I don't know. They got a bunch of computers, and we got human brains.
That's
here,
right,
people.
and we follow the program. So I trust these guys and myself sometimes more than I would a computer.
Even though they had A&T beatings that year, I do remember that, and we all thought it was crazy, and they turned out to be right.
Well, sometimes you have to trust them too.
So those are the numbers. I do think it's going to be a higher scoring game, Troy, back and forth.
Yeah,
and I think it's going to be a fun game, honestly.
So noon game ESPNU.
Yeah.
So it'll be pretty widely available. A lot easier to find than the ESPN Plus game.
Correct.
Say that. So, and not as easy as an ABC game.
Correct. Right there in the middle.
Yes.
Happy medium.
Because if you don't subscribe to the right sports package, you may not get ESPNU.
Right.
But all the local sport, restaurants will have it on and stuff.
I had that conversation with Bryce Williams yesterday off the air as he was leaving.
Yeah. How was
ESPNU?
I had to get out of my car right at Bryce Outdoors or Pirate Radio Outdoor segment. Was his rod? What is it called? When his rod's
his rod
burning?
was
his rod burning?
Oh yeah, he caught a lot of trout.
Yeah,
last week, so his rod was burning.
I'm also working for trying to get a sponsored segment in that.
It's people like it. We had multiple questions yesterday.
I love Pirate Radio Outdoors.
Yeah,
and what a great ambassador of Bryce Williams to do that.
And he's living it, folks. He does something every weekend involving fishing or hunting.
Who's that famous guy that used to have the fishing show? There were a couple of them, but
I think you're talking about Bill Dance.
Yes,
is that his name?
Bill Dance, the original
Tennessee
guy. Yep. No, there's a lot of people that have come on since then, but Bill Dance was kind of the godfather of fishing shows, wasn't he?
Sure.
No, he started that genre. He was doing a fishing show when no one else was.
I know his name, so yes. To it, yes.
My point was he wasn't following someone else's footsteps. Sure, there's people that fished before him, but he did it as a show.
Correct.
And people loved it. He did it wear the Tennessee hat all the time. Great branding for the volunteers. But Bryce is kind of our Bill Dance.
He is.
In many ways.
Great analogy, and now people understand it completely.
I had to explain it, Clip.
Thank you for breaking it down.
Yeah.
But when I brought him up, it was because he said, "Do I have ESPNU?" I was like, "Bryce, I don't know, man. You got
check your local listings.
You got cable or satellite?" I got Suddenlink. All right. Do you have a sports package? I'm not sure. All right. Well, Check it when you get home. And
we'll have to do a follow-up with him next week.
Did you have ESPN?
Well, I forgot to check.
I still don't know.
I was at the beach fishing. So I didn't see it.
I tell you what, I ain't got it on the boat. I can tell you that.
But the rod was burning.
He is. He's 100% genuine. Bryce Williams.
I love
all
that
the
guy.
time.
Love the guy.
On the air, off the air.
It's not a show.
Same guy.
People have asked me that. They go, is that like some skit y'all do? I'm like, no. He's a real guy. Like, people knew him from playing football here, but he's just even keel. He's just
the whole time.
It's not some show on the air. It's who he is.
Yeah. So
one of the nicest people I know.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Great guy. And glad he's a part of our squad.
Yeah. Squad. I like that.
Johnny. Okay, so we got a few other names.
Frank White, the outdoorsman. He was more of a local guy, wasn't he?
I don't know that name.
Then who had there was a place in Farmville when I first started coming to Greenville. There was the Sportsman restaurant in Farmville, I believe. It was kind of a famous place. See, now we're going down.
This is when you need West Hines. I don't know.
Yep. Shirley, you're from Farmville. You remember growing up as a kid, the Sportsman restaurant?
The name
here it is. The Southern Sportsman. It just came to me.
Yeah, that name rings a bell. I don't
the guy
think
that
I've ever
owned that
eaten
had a TV show called, I think, The Southern Sportsman at the time. And I remember it was in Farmville. It was kind of a locally famous spot at the time. And I remember eating there because that was back in the day, kids. Believe it or not, you'd have to drive through Farmville to get to Greenville. That 264 didn't go like 264 does. You had to drive through Farmville on a 2-lane road basically to get here.
And see that big guy in Wilson on the way?
Yeah, you had to do Wilson too. Yeah. What was it, Big Boy Tires or whatever?
Yeah, I guess so.
I think it's called Big Boy Tires, but I know exactly which one you're talking about.
And I always thought was he waving or was he like doing some type of Nazi symbol? I was always wondering about that guy.
I think he's supposed to be waving, but his hand is kind of not
his arm's a little
correctly.
stiff, I think. It's a little too straight. I'm like, I don't know about this statue of talking about bringing down a statue. Maybe the Big Boy Tire statue is the one you got to bring down.
I actually worked right behind that building. I worked at a place.
Did you notice any weird activity going on after hours?
It's like a show. If the Shoney's Big Boy sold tires, that's what that thing was. You know,
he looked more like a.
It happened to be a Nazi. Yeah, if the Shoney's Big Boy sold tires who was a Nazi, that was the thing. If you drove by it, you know what I'm talking about. I bet it's still there.
Do you?
I haven't been in a long time, so I have no idea.
If you're listening to us in Wilson or been through Wilson, it's still there. Let us know.
Scott brings up the name Hank Parker. I don't know that name.
Does not ring a bell.
Okay, he's from Denver, North Carolina. Apparently. All right. This has been an extension of Pirate Radio Outdoors.
I don't know who Hank Parker is. Frank White does ring a bell.
Okay.
I think he was the Southern Sportsman.
Bottom line, Bryce Williams is our Bill Dance.
Yes.
That is what we know. All right, you want to get into some of these cuts, Troy?
Yeah, and I would just like to say, if you're watching, I don't have a black eye, but I do have a black eye, so I don't want people to think I was involved in some incident.
So what happened? You want to get out in front of the story?
I do. I'd like to.
I don't want, he got into an argument with me.
I know, because that's what a lot of people would think. And I did not take an elbow from Shirley. The Shirley rock bottom.
Unfortunately, that would have been funny.
The people's elbow.
Shirley's elbow instead of the people's elbow, which still could happen to the other eye, but no. I guess this is kind of crazy. I shouldn't talk about other people's medical issues, but I had a sty. You ever get a sty in your eye?
A sty in your eye?
Yeah.
I feel like a long time ago, maybe.
So anyway, I had one. I didn't think anything of it. Anyway, make a long story short, I think it got infected or whatever. So then the sty turned into a cyst. Well, my eyes are very sensitive anyway. So then I had like a cyst in my eye, underneath my eye, like on the bottom part of the eyelid. So I had the good folks at White Eye Associates, by the way. Let me give a shout out to Dr. Bauer, who took care of it. But to do that, you have to have minor surgery on your eye. That's a sensitive place to have surgery. The skin on your eyelids, Clip, is not exactly the toughest skin.
Yeah.
If you're going to have surgery, it's a very sensitive spot right there, if you think about it. And then, you're awake the whole time. And I was telling you this before showtime here. I said, anyone that's had dental procedures probably had Novocaine before in their mouth. And, it hurts for a second when they stick the needle in. Kind of feels like an electric volt, maybe, or like you put your tongue on a battery or something. If you did that as a kid, I don't recommend that, kids.
I did not know.
That's a Wes Hines deal. But you don't see it. You can feel it, but you don't see it. When you're getting your eye numbed, the needle's cut, like your eye is open and the needle's coming at you. It's like out of a horror movie, So not only do you feel it being injected in a very sensitive area, you see it.
You're watching it.
You're watching it. And you're like, oh my God. So I got to say that was probably the worst part about it. But afterwards, like, because there was so much activity there, I have a black eye from it. So I just wanted to get out in front of the story so people don't think there was a situation in the studio.
When you started to tell that, you said, I don't like to talk about other people's medical
procedures. Yeah. Well, I guess...
Were you going to talk about Brian Bailey's wonky eye?
No. I was going to talk about...
Because you talked about that so much.
All right, I think he'd be okay if I say this.
Wait, are you sure? Because you say too much all the time.
No, this is just...
We have plenty of
crazy
ECU
story.
stuff.
This is just a crazy coincidence and a story of how small Greenville is.
All right.
So I'm back there in the basically the operating room for White Eye Associates. And I get there, and at the same exact time, a friend of the station and a great partner with us is in the waiting room with me with the same issue. I then go back to get I didn't realize they were going to do surgery that day. I just thought they were looking at it like, no, let's go ahead and get it out now. He is right next to me in the surgery room.
Stavros.
Don Edwards from UBE is my star brother. Honest to God, I'm like, Don, how does this? I requested a private room. Now you're in here. But isn't that wild?
Yeah, the guy you probably see most outside of us every day because he's right here at UBE.
So I go to get a sty cyst removed from my eye, and he's right there with me doing the same thing.
Sty brother.
I can report Don Edwards has had full recovery.
Saw him today.
He looks much better than me.
Surgery, I guess.
Yeah, he looks good. Yeah, I look like I've been in a barroom fight back in the 80s with the fraternity.
But you're feeling all right.
So.
It's been better?
Yes.
All right. Well, hey, you're soldiering through.
It's a little rough this morning, but I'm doing better. Thank you.
By the way, I guess we're just going to talk about your health every Thursday. Did you walk up the steps last week or the stairs at Dowdy Ficklin? Or did you take the elevator?
Oh, well, thank you for asking. I got there, and there was no one in front of me, so I took the elevator.
Okay, good.
There was no waiting, and I figured, you know what? This is stupid. Why would I take the stairs when the elevator's available?
All right. We avoided that.
Yeah. I was willing to take the stairs if need be. I was more concerned about getting down, because if everyone leaves at the same time, and with the social distancing, but it was not... Because there were such few people up there, it ended up not being as big of an issue as I had projected.
By the way, we didn't mention this yesterday. I guess North Carolina's moving into phase 3.
Yes.
Does that affect anything at all with stadium capacity, ECU?
Well, stadium capacity is 30%. No, they ruled that at 7%.
Right.
So I think that stays the same.
That's the same.
Is my understanding. But I talked to one of the guys at Still Life, like downtown. If you have a bar that has outdoor area, they've got like 3 outdoor areas. They are actually planning to open back up this weekend. So
good for them.
There'll be a little bit of normalcy. Now, it's limited as far as how many people, but there are some bars that do have outdoor areas, and they'll be back open for business.
Good news.
Yeah. Not a huge capacity, but I guess something's better than nothing.
I know. Yeah. And you just hope that maybe it can continue to rise.
I feel for those guys. I think anyone that has their business shut down due to no fault of their own, look, I don't care whether you like them or not, or whether you like the business or not, or whether you support the business or not, it still sucks. Like, it's not fair. It's not their fault. So I do feel for those guys that have been, and the good news is at least movie theaters are back open for business this weekend. Because I've driven by both theater complexes in Greenville. It's kind of sad to see it complete. Not a single car in those lots. So they can open it back up, I think, a certain percentage of people.
And I rarely go. I know, but Shirley is probably excited to hear that, because she was talking about how she's ready to go back to the theater.
I don't go that often, but I do enjoy. I'll go some. Yeah. I do like the theater experience.
Because there's a couple of movies that were slated to come out this summer. And of course, with the pandemic, that didn't happen. But movies that I would like to see in the movie theater.
Yeah, that Tenet movie that they preview every 30 minutes, is that out in the theaters?
Oh, I don't.
The Christopher Nolan movie.
Yeah, well, it's out, but I don't know how. Honestly, I don't know how you access it. How do you
I don't know.
I've been watching a lot of movies on TV with the boys. And we watched, there's a channel. God, I got to figure out what channel. I've been DVRing the movies on the channel. They run commercials, but if you tape it, you can blast through the commercials.
Spice?
No.
It's not Paramount, is it?
Might be. I don't know. Well, this one, they showed Coming to America. quite often.
Oh, that's a classic.
And so I made the boys watch it, and they're like, at first, because it's kind of a slow build up to, and they were ready to like tap out after the first 5 minutes. I said, stick with it, give it a try. By the end of the movie, they loved it. It's got a really good. I hadn't seen it in 20 years, probably, or longer.
Is that kid friendly? I can't remember.
Yeah, it was pretty kid friendly for the most part. There was maybe one spot I had to fast forward, but other than that, it was pretty kid friendly, and it was funny, and it has a good message. But I forgot how funny that movie was, and I saw last week, like the next day after I watched Coming to America with the boys, that they're talking about doing a sequel to it now.
Really?
You know, it was with Eddie Murphy, and it was who was the guy with the long finger? Arsenio Hall.
Arsenio Hall's in it.
Back when they were on top of their game. I mean, there was no one bigger than Eddie Murphy back then. I mean, Eddie Murphy was like Chris Rock and the little guy combined.
Kevin Hart.
Yeah. I mean, my generation would put up Eddie Murphy as the Michael Jordan of comedy.
I don't think Kevin Hart's even in that category.
There's no question about that.
Yeah, I mean he was incredible, and you know also Eddie Murphy making a comeback. They said the millennials have now like rediscovered his song "Party All the Time,"
yeah,
and now that's like making a comeback
because they had no idea because none of them knew he sang.
No, but they don't even know who he is. They just think it's a cool jam.
This could be your second golden era now that all that 80s stuff is coming back, Troy.
I love it.
Cobra Kai.
This is incredible. It's like I've never been more comfortable.
Now, be honest, because you've watched some awesome classic movies with your kids.
Yeah.
But you love these movies. Do your kids genuinely like them, Troy, or are you forcing them to watch?
We want to watch a movie, and I feel like we've been through all the kids' movies on Netflix. So now we're kind of doing more of teenage movies, I guess. Mm-hmm. Like coming up next, we're going to do. I've got Beverly Hills Cop scheduled next on our viewing menu. Right. So, and then if they like that, then we'll watch Beverly Hills Cop 2. Yeah. If they don't like Beverly Hills Cop 1, then I won't force the sequels on them. Like we watch Police Academy.
I was going to say,
they love Police Academy. Yeah. So I'm now trying to find Police Academy. Do you know how hard it is to find Police Academy 2 out there? Now I'm talking for my, it's not on Netflix.
Right.
I don't have the DVD. Like, it's just, like, to me, I know you can probably get it somewhere, but it's not as easily accessible. So, like, now I want to get Police Academy 2 for them because they loved Police Academy.
I don't know if you mentioned this. Steve chimes in and says, Coming to America 2 comes out in December. I'm not sure if you said that.
So, I mean, I'm kind of geeked up about that now.
I'm ready for the second Top Gun version.
When is
Maverick.
That?
Well, it was slated to come out this summer, but it obviously that didn't happen. So I don't know when these movies will start getting released. I guess they're just waiting for the movie theaters to be able to at least open.
This is right down Troy D's alley, though. Like, we're living in the late 80s forever, Troy.
Yeah, and I'm a big early 90s guy, too.
That little crossover?
Yeah, late 80s, early 90s, right in my wheelhouse.
Wow, that's my jam, too. So
yeah, and the songs are still, like, I was watching something, I think Monday Night Football, they went into a commercial break playing OPP. Mm-hmm. The other night, I was like,
early 90s.
Yeah, it was either Sunday Night Football or Monday Night Football. They were playing Naughty by Nature, OPP, going into a commercial break.
I can appreciate that.
This is awesome. Like, fantastic.
Yeah.
That was my jam back in the day.
All right. I tell you what, we need to take a break.
Yeah, we'll get to Coach Houston.
And eventually get to, ECU and Georgia State. But that was a good human interest segment, Troy, as you would say.
Can I tell you about my friend Tony Corey?
Yeah.
He's making some news. Did you know, Clip Rock, how to buy or sell a business? Most people don't. You know how to buy or sell a house, right?
Mm-hmm.
How do you buy or sell a business? Most people don't even know where to turn.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. Well, now you do. Tony Corey is with Trans World Business Advisors. He's local. He's right here in Greenville. But boy, does he have a huge network. First of all, you can visit him online at transworldeast.com to learn more. But you can buy a business with only 10% of the sales price and even use your retirement funds to do so without penalty if you want to. They have franchises all over the place, operational systems already in place, over 400 different franchises you could choose from. They also, if you're looking to sell your business, have over 150,000 pre-qualified buyers in their database. Trans World Business Advisors can confidentially help you sell your business at top dollar or get you in business. Maybe you're a manager, general manager. Maybe it's time for you to take that step and be a business owner. This is what they do every day. If you're ready to be your own boss and run your own company, call Tony Corey with Trans World Business Advisors. 347-9606 is his number, 347-9606, and he will help you make it a reality. Thanks to Tony Corey.
We got to take a break, Troy D, but before we do, let's make somebody a winner.
Booty bag?
Booty bag time.
All right, love it.
Booty, 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 booty everywhere. Booty, 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 booty everywhere.
317-1250, caller 12. You are a winner of a $10 gift card to Pop's Old Fashioned Burgers. Shirley went today. Shirley got the Shirley special, the hamburger steak. That's her go-to, Troy D.
I've seen her bring it in quite often.
Hamburger steak, mashed potatoes and gravy, and some green beans.
They do have a great healthy menu there, too, if you want.
They got everything.
Yeah, they really have a lot. Don't confuse them just as a burger place anymore.
And some of these places, Troy, with COVID and everything, have kind of shortened their menu, taken away some items. So
They have.
Pops has still got everything rolling out.
Looks like they're full.
All the
full
favorites.
throttle. Yeah.
We will give you a $10 gift card to Pops if you are caller 12 right now, 317-1250. Back with more on Pirate Radio Live after this.
Hey, Pirate Nation, this is former ECU tight end Bryce Williams from my friends at the Auto Store Group. If you're in the market for a quality used vehicle, then the Auto Store Group is for you. The Auto Store Group has 3 locations and over 150 quality used vehicles to choose from for all budgets. Shop their entire inventory today at theautostoregroup.com. The Auto Store Group, your hometown store and Pirate owned and operated for over 38 years. Go Pirates!
Warren's Hot Dog Pizza, homemade lemonade.
Hey, Pirate Nation, Warren's Hot Dogs, 2 locations are open for business in Greenville and Chocowinity. Both locations have drive-through windows, so stop by today for hot dogs, pizzas, subs, apple and peach turnovers, homemade lemonade, and breakfast in Chocowinity, featuring homemade cheese, ham, and chicken biscuits, plus sausage dogs and more. Warren's in Greenville, across from Ron Ayers Motorsports, and in Chocowinity next to the fire department. Warren's Hot Dogs. Want some? Get some.
Here today with Redbox, also known as Jay Klingensmith to his friends and family. Why F3?
I started at F3. I just wanted to get some fellowship back out there, start exercising, and just have fun in the mornings. Gives you something to look forward to. It always starts your day off great.
1 letter, 1 number, F3. Fitness, fellowship, and faith. All workouts are free of charge and open to all men. Leave no man behind, but leave no man where you find him. Learn more today at f3enc.com.
Have you ever seen those exotic aquariums like the guys do in Las Vegas on television? You ever thought about having one of these aquariums in your business? It's more affordable than you think. This is Hal Pruitt with rentafishtank.com. We can make having an aquarium in your business turnkey with no work, cleaning, or hassles for you. Rentafishtank.com creates a relaxing atmosphere and keeps children occupied. Rentafishtank.com already services many dental, pediatric, and doctor offices, plus hospitals and senior living centers. Check us out at rentafishtank.com.
Hi, this is Jeff Charles, and welcome inside the booth. We have lost 3 college basketball coaching legends in a matter of a few days. I'll have some thoughts next.
Let me tell you a thing or two about the people who don't compromise. For starters, they love a nice, cold Pepsi Zero Sugar. Why? Because it's delicious, it's refreshing, and it has 0 sugar. How's that for not compromising? They're the sort of person that likes surf with their turf. Because who decided beef shouldn't have a buddy? And a drink with their feast? Yeah, they have a Pepsi Zero Sugar. The person who doesn't compromise loves a good golden doodle. All the golden retriever goodness with just a hint of doodle. No compromises there. Oh, and when they're bringing said golden doodle for a walk, they bring a Pepsi Zero Sugar. They're the kind of person jorts were made for. 50% jeans, 50% shorts, 100% the most comfortable thing that's ever graced your wardrobe. Not compromising never looked so good. So crack open a Pepsi Zero Sugar and taste what it's like to have it all. Pepsi Zero Sugar. Zero sugar done right. That's what I like.
John Thompson, Lou Olson, and Lou Henson, 3 college basketball coaching legends, all passed away in recent weeks. 2 of them won national championships. Thompson at Georgetown, Olson at Arizona, and Henson took Illinois to the Final Four. Thompson was an imposing figure at 6'10". He was Bill Russell's backup with the Boston Celtics for 2 years. His teams played with an edge and tried to intimidate the opposition. Olson and Henson had similar personalities. They were gentlemen. I broadcast University of Illinois basketball in the late 70s and early 80s and was around Coach Henson almost daily through the basketball season. I never heard him utter the first curse word. All 3 coaches stood the test of time. They made an incredible impact on the coaching profession. It is somewhat ironic that we lost all 3 of them just weeks apart. Come on back again next time and we'll visit inside the booth.
This is Coach Blake Carroll, defensive coordinator for East Carolina football, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour of PRL is brought to you by Bud Light, reminding Pirate fans to stay in the game and drink responsibly. Bud Light, the official beer of the ECU Pirates, and proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Hey, guys, you cannot impress the ladies with that sloppy, unkept look, and that goes for you married guys, too. Time to get to the Man Cave in Greenville, the premier destination for professional manicures, pedicures, and hair services for men only. Enjoy a cold beverage, a snack, and let the professionals make you look your best. Visit mancaveandnails.com and book your appointment today. The Man Cave now open on the corner of Fire Tower and Evans. And congratulations to Steve Hill of Greenville, who got the $10 gift card courtesy of Pop's Old Fashioned Cheeseburgers. They're now offering healthy home meals, always fresh, not frozen. Simply take home, reheat, and eat. Stop by today on Charles Boulevard behind Krispy Kreme for more details. And now let's head back in to Pirate Radio Live. Here's your host, Clip Brock.
All right, congrats to Steve. Reed, try again tomorrow. Our buddy Reed Williamson says he was caller 4 and 9. So he's got quick fingers, but couldn't quite get in. Reed, we missed you on the fifth quarter. Remember the good old days when Reed would crack a beer?
Top. Yeah. What's happened to Reed? Why didn't he call in?
What's happened to the team? That used
Reed,
to be
it's time for you to call in. You can't quit on us just because the way the team lost.
He'd say, this one's for the defense.
Yeah.
This one's for...
Reed, we expect you to call this Saturday, like around 3-ish. Or if the game goes as long as last week, 4-ish.
Yeah, hopefully.
Was that the longest first quarter of football you've ever seen? I swear, it went like an hour and 5 minutes. I was exhausted at the end of the first quarter, and I didn't play.
Well, that's what happens when the teams combine for 45 penalties.
Yeah, but it felt like it should have been halftime at the end of the quarter.
Yeah.
Literally, I was looking around the press box. I was like, is there a couch I could lay down here? I'm fatigued already.
Wow. All right.
It's hard work, Clip.
It is. It's hard work watching the game and getting up there on that elevator, too.
Yeah. And you're stuck in the seat the whole time. You know me. I need to move around a little bit. I'm not one just to be static the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
And I did feel a little like, this is your area. Keep the mask on. I'm not saying I was a prisoner, but, you couldn't really get around and socialize. And, you were just stuck.
Mm-hmm. Are you still allowed in the press box? You didn't get kicked out?
I did not get kicked out.
All right, good.
That I know of. No, I did not violate any of the policies, which there are 3 pages of.
Yeah.
I adhered to all the rules. I didn't want them going up. You know what? Troy came up here, didn't have a mask, didn't do this.
Good.
Coughing on people. I didn't do any of that stuff.
Good.
I was a rule follower. It was their property. I was happy the team was playing.
Yeah.
I didn't want to be a problem.
There you go.
So
good lesson to everyone out there.
Yes. Sometimes you just got to go with the flow. Even if the flow isn't.
Troy D is not a real go with the flow guy. No, you like your own flow.
Correct. Sometimes. I like my own flow. I don't like other people's flow.
You like your flow and only your flow.
I go with my flow.
Hey, Tom McClellan, why don't you go with my flow? Yeah. Over there, it's Tom's flow.
That's right. Well, in many ways, yes.
All right. Tell you what, let's hear from... Play the extra Donnie cut, Shirley, because that would be appropriate for right now. The extra one I gave you here on this list at the bottom.
Are you saying Donnie's extra?
Well, you're not an idiot. Neither one of you are. Okay. And trust me, I know what an idiot is. I know how many people think I am one.
All right, we're not idiots. Thanks, Donnie.
So that's taking the quote this week. Instead of excitement time, are we not having excitement time anymore? Is this still excitement time? That we're playing our first road game, Clip Brock?
It's having a freaking game.
We are having a freaking game. Right. We almost didn't. I'm still excited. Are you excited?
Excitement time.
Is Coach excited?
Excitement time. All right.
Coach, are you excited? Coach.
Excitement time.
It took a while, but yes, he is. Donnie was actually referring to Igoe and Ronnie when he said, "You guys are not idiots." I know what an idiot is. I've been called an idiot. All right, let's hear more from Donnie Kirkpatrick.
Why did he even reference say they weren't idiots?
Because Ronnie asked a question and said I might be an idiot.
Oh yeah.
And I don't even remember which question it was. But
I think it would have been funnier if Donnie said, "Well, you can take the might out of it."
You are an idiot. All right, let's take cut 2, Shirley. We talked about the fumbles earlier and played the cut from Donnie. How do you prevent those fumbles from happening again, like they did against UCF? What do you do in practice?
Well, you don't wait till Tuesday. I know Sunday there were some incentives going on. I don't know if those were positive reinforcement incentives or not. You know, there were some guys that stayed after the workout on Sunday and got that reinforced a little bit, how important that was. And it wasn't, they didn't do it on purpose, you know, so it's not like that. But you're right. You have to set a standard that, you know, that's not acceptable. None of the hits were like decapitations or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? They're good at that. I got to give them some credit. I will always give credit where the credit's due. They tackled the ball, they gang tackle, they put their hat on the ball, and so they did some things like that. They were good licks, but they were all ball security deals. The ball was loose on all the situations like that. And then the interception was just a moment of blindness there, I guess. On 1st and 10, we would throw a ball like that, but that's a whole other story we'll have to get into if we had more time. But so we did that on Sunday. Tuesday, we amped it up a little bit. Normally on Wednesday, we do some ball security drills. We did them on Tuesday on the offensive side. We added a couple of them. I tell you what, a couple of them were not pretty. I mean, they were ones I'm glad I was not a player. And then we did them again today on Wednesday as well. And then in all our team things against each other, it's always that way, but against the scout teams, we had the scout team guys really stripping the ball and thudding them and punching it, and to the point of, you know, about a second or two past the whistle, just to really, really overemphasize how important it is to have those fundamentals of ball security.
All right, there is Donnie Kirkpatrick. And Troy, one way to get rid of the fumbles is take your habitual fumbler out of the game. The problem is when you have 4 different guys fumble, you can't really do that.
It's not that easy, is it?
So, you know, maybe it's a freak deal. Maybe it's something that you just hope it's not a reoccurring issue.
Correct. I think they can correct it, but, you know, we'll find out.
Yeah, we shall see coming up on Saturday. It was
weird how they just kind of all happened at the same time.
Yeah,
almost,
right there in the first quarter.
Yeah, back to back to back.
And it was a backbreaker for the Pirates on Saturday.
Yeah, what do you think? Well, a lot of people have asked me, you know, if they didn't fumble the ball 3 times in the first quarter, what would have changed? I'm like, well, they might have been able to take one of those drives down and score. They could have put 14 points up in the first. I mean, it could have changed the complex.
Or 21, or 28.
Complex of the game.
Yeah.
I don't know if that cost them the game totally, but it was definitely a factor.
Yeah.
You know?
I would say that more than anything else cost them the game.
Yeah, but I mean, they still, even with the 3 fumbles, they got out of the first quarter, only down a touchdown, I think?
Yeah, but against UCF, you got to be up multiple scores.
True.
You can't be down a score.
Right.
And again, the defense did their job. You know, the theme last week, stay in the fight.
Yeah.
The defense kept them in the fight as long as they could, and then the levee kind of broke there. Shirley, let's say cut 4. When it comes to the passing game, you got to protect the quarterback. The quarterback's got to make the throw. Receiver's got to make the catch. There's a lot that goes into it. What was the main issue with the passing game struggling on Saturday?
Well, I tell you what, they did a great job. Again, I'll brag on them. They did a great job of trying to take Snead out of the game. And we love to get him the ball. And I think we missed. That was the part of the offense we really missed. Like I say, we ran the ball as good as I would have hoped we could have. There were some other things that were really, really good. We couldn't get the ball to Tyler. They put their best DB, nickel guy. He's an unbelievable player. We knew he was that good a player. They had not played that where he matched a guy both sides of the formations, and they really took him out of the game a little bit. It was unfortunate. I was trying to get him the ball as many ways as I could. Didn't do a good enough job of doing that. We did have some protection issues. I thought up front we run blocked really well. I thought we really took it to them in the run game. There were great running lanes most of the time. We had a really good plan going in, or we thought, to help the tackles with some chip blocks on the outside, because they've got really long, fast defensive ends that will just beat you around the hoop, man. They'll just outrun you around. And we were chipping them with that. Well, they just twisted inside and put all the rush up inside and tried to flush Holton out. And they tried to flush him to his right. which is away from his throwing hand, which is good strategy. Holton knows he has a tendency to go to the left way too much. We've really worked hard on that. He went right and was whipping them early with that. Made a couple runs, made a good throw to Blake. They just kept bringing it up inside, and we had a lot of times when we probably had somebody open and we couldn't get the ball thrown. So we did have some protection issues that we've got to shore up a little bit.
There's Donnie Kirkpatrick, and I'll take the blame on Snead struggling too, because last week I said he was unguardable, and UCF literally had a specialist for Tyler Snead that they put on him on Saturday, and when you take him away, Troy, that he's a big part of this offense, catching the ball, moving the chains.
Yeah, and I don't know if they're going to the Georgia State. What's their nickname again?
Take a guess.
I forgot. I went blank on it.
Panthers.
Panthers, that's right. I don't know if the Panthers will have a specialist.
I don't think
like
so.
that this week. So
Yeah.
maybe it's going to be a more even challenge for him to get open that much more.
Yeah, and I mean, we're used to seeing him kind of running free and being open, and that took away a lot of the offensive attack there on Saturday. Darius Pinnick's father passed away recently, Troy, and Mike Houston talked about that earlier, and Donnie kind of gave an update on how Darius Pinnick is doing. This is cut 6, Shirley.
Well, Darius has had a tough week, and I'm assuming everyone knows that his father passed away on Sunday, and he was a young man that was very close to his father. I think literally they spoke every morning, the first thing before he went to class or did anything, or before the dad went and did anything else, they always spoke. So it was he has had some illness, but it was very unexpected. So on Sunday, that was a boy has a knee buckler, and he's really struggled. I mean, mentally. Luckily, he's got some really good friends on the team, especially the guys in that running back room. They've all rallied around him and supported him all through the staff. Coach Houston, everybody loves Darius, and so they're there. But as I told him, I can't even imagine what you're feeling right now. So it's been a tough week, and I don't know right now with Darius. Football is just really not anything we're even thinking about with him. We're just trying to hope that he's okay, with all the other things. Things are more important.
And Donnie was asked a follow-up there, does he expect Darius Pinnick to play football on Saturday? And also, Donnie went over some keys to victory against Georgia State.
Well, he says he wants to play, and I think it's a deal where he thinks that's what his dad would want him to do, and so that's his decision. He and Coach Houston have visited with about that part about it a lot more than I have with him. So as of right now, he has practiced, and he's practiced hard. And, he's practiced well, but you can just see it in his eyes. You can just see it in his body language that he's hurting. So we'll see how that all plays. It could be one of those inspirational deals, what I'm saying, Brett Favre type like moment, that we all know about. But we're not expecting that. Keys to winning the game will be obviously starting with the ball, the turnover battle. What I'm saying? We've got to solve that issue immediately, or we'll have no chance with anybody we play. We can't give them 4, extra possessions when we don't get any of those back. So I think that'll really be a key there to it. So I think the middle 8 that Coach Houston's been talking about has been the point of emphasis this week, which is the last 4 minutes of the first half and the first 4 minutes of the second half. We've got to find a way to play better in that little stretch. And it's amazing. He showed the team today a deal. I think it kind of maybe came from Bill Belichick or something. They'd done a study, and excuse me, it's about 76% of the time you win the game if you win that middle 8. So that's going to be something we're going to really emphasize this week as well. And then we're going to have to keep the defense off the field. I'm saying we got to score points, but we got to keep them off the field.
All right, there's Donnie Kirkpatrick. We'll get to the middle 8 in just a moment, Troy. I like that. But he mentioned Darius Pinnick and his father passing away, the Brett Favre miracle. And do you remember that against the Raiders Monday Night Football?
I watched it, yeah.
His dad passed away the previous evening. And Favre, I had to look up.
Thought he'd have a terrible game. He had an incredible game that night.
311 yards in the first half, 4 touchdowns in the first half. Yeah. It was 31-7.
One of his greatest games ever.
It was just kind of one of those deals. Yeah. And So Donnie Kirkpatrick brought that up when it comes to Darius Penix. And then mentioned the middle eight. I like that, Troy. And that's kind of when the game got out of hand for ECU on Saturday. The last 4 minutes of the first half, and then UCF comes out the second half. They score and score again quickly. Yeah. The first 4 minutes of the second half, the middle eight, something ECU is going to try to improve on this week.
Yeah, and someone had sent me a message over the weekend, and they said if college football games were decided on opening drives, ECU could be a perennial top 20 power.
Well,
and you think about even going back to the rough
era, every time
Pirates would start hot every game, but then stuff would happen, But they'd always come out of the gate looking good.
Yep, and we don't need to worry about the first two. We need to worry about the middle eight. We're good on the first 2 minutes of the game. The middle eight.
It's a good way to put it. I hadn't thought about it like that, but that's true.
All right, let's take a time out. We'll come back. Still more to go on today's edition of Pirate Radio Live. We'll come back more Troy D and more ECU Georgia State. Coming up high noon Saturday, ESPNU, our pregame coverage gets underway at 8 a.m. on the Bud Light pregame tailgate. We're back with you on Pirate Radio Live after this.
It's a story that started in a community like ours. Cal Cunningham grew up in Lexington, where church youth groups working at the local brickyard and McDonald's shaped his life. And now Cal's running a different kind of campaign for the U.S. Senate.
I'm Cal Cunningham. I want my service in the U.S. Senate to be about listening and going places where Democrats don't always go. That's what I learned growing up in Lexington, where we don't check voter registration before taking care of our neighbors. We believe in hard work and service, just like the soldiers I served with overseas.
Cal Cunningham volunteered after 9/11, a lieutenant colonel in the Army Reserve who served 3 tours and took on corrupt government contractors. And Cal will take on the corruption in Washington that's been rigging the system for the drug and insurance companies. That's why Cal's not taking corporate PAC money, because he believes the top 1% don't need more favors. It's regular folks who need a voice. He'll be a senator on our side.
I'm Cal Cunningham, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Cal for NC.
Get your ice cold Bud Light Seltzer here. Even though you can't go to the game, doesn't mean the game can't be brought to you now here. Just go to budlight.com/delivery. That's budlight.com/delivery.
Give me 2 mangoes.
Coming at you. It's a little short. Ow. Sorry. You know what? I'm just going to walk them over to you.
Whenever there's a game to watch, there's a Bud Light there. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch, Bud Light Beer, and Bud Light Seltzer, IRC Beer, beer in Texas, St. Louis, Missouri.
In studio today with Dr. Shondell Jones from Kinetic Physical Therapy. How can you help people with back pain?
Well, most people are going to have back pain at some point during their life, but you don't have to live with it. A bad MRI or a bad x-ray does not mean you're destined to always have pain. We have specialists that are well-trained to find out what the true problem is and the true source of your pain so they can get you on track to feeling better. So don't suffer with back pain. Our nationally board-certified specialists are here to help you. To learn more, visit us at kptonline.com. We can help you live well, move more, and hurt less.
If you're like many, you may have put on the Corona 5, 10, or even 15 over the last 2 months. Well, the weather is warm and it's time to get that body back on track. At Clean Eats, we have you covered. Our weekly meal plan will quickly help you get back to where you want to be. Order online at cleaneats.com. Our cafe is back open, sanitized, and waiting to serve you healthy lunch and dinner options for dine-in, takeout, curbside, or even delivered through our delivery partners. Clean Eats, it's a lifestyle. 805 Red Banks Road, Arlington Village.
East Coast Grading and Utilities is your source for clearing, hauling dirt, and concrete work. East Coast Grading and Utilities handles all sewer and water issues as well.
I'm David Bone. Whether putting in a new subdivision or helping you with any and all of your drainage problems, I can get the job done. Call me at 531-7494.
No job is too big or too small. East Coast Grading and Utilities. Friends helping friends. 531-7494 for East Coast Grading and Utilities.
Hey, this is Chef David Finelli from Pop's Old Fashioned Cheeseburgers. Today I'm going to tell you about our family meal deals for 4 hungry adults. We offer Finelli's Cafe lasagna, chicken parmesan, eggplant parmesan, spaghetti and meatballs, our hamburger steak and gravy with mashed potatoes, pork chops. If you'd like to order, please go to our Pop's Old Fashioned Cheeseburgers Facebook page or our website. Choose your meal, order online, pay online, roll up, and we'll get it right out to your car. Thank you from the Pops crew.
2020 certainly hasn't been the year many of us were hoping for, but one thing has stayed the same. I'm Tim Sutton with Greenville Auto World, and our commitment to our customers has never wavered. Let Greenville Auto World show you how easy it is to buy a quality used car in Greenville. We believe in fair prices, superior service, and treating customers right leads to satisfied repeat buyers. Your vehicle is a big investment, and our customers trust us to keep them up and running with outstanding service and value. For Greenville Auto World, cross from Hardee's at Bells Fork.
This is former ECU baseball player and mayor of Greenville, PJ Connolly, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of Pirate Nation.
You're listening to Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour of PRL is brought to you by Bud Light, reminding pirate fans to stay in the game and drink responsibly. Bud Light, the official beer of the ECU Pirates, and proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989. Now, back to the show.
Well, welcome back. If you're in the market for quality used vehicles, then the Auto Store Group is for you. The Auto Store Group has 3 locations and over 150 quality used vehicles to choose from for all budgets. Shop their entire inventory today at theautostoregroup.com. The Auto Store Group, your hometown store and Pirate owned and operated for over 38 years. Now let's head back in to Pirate Radio Live. Here's your host, Clip Brock.
All right, Shirley, excited for another college football Saturday, ECU Georgia State at noon, coming up 7:30. You can check out Arkansas and Mississippi State, Troy D. Mississippi State, a huge win over LSU week 1.
Almost a program win for them. What a start from Mike Leach there. We talked about him earlier this week, and I came across this audio from one of his press conferences. This is class, and I noticed this at the LSU game. He did not, a lot of people are a little nuts about the mask stuff, and he didn't have it on. He was just coaching, and he ended up getting questioned about it by a reporter, I think from the New York Times. We have the complete audio. Wait till you hear his response. Take it away, Shirley.
Alan Blinder.
Coach, I want to go back to Saturday's game for just a second. You didn't have wear a face covering actively for a lot of the game. Why not?
Well, I tried to remember the best I could. Then I found myself talking all of the time, because I'm calling the plays as well. So I was in a constant state of talking. So between me taking it down to talk, me lifting it up and it falling down on its own, and me remembering to put it back up, I think, there were a number of challenges there. But, with a little practice, who knows, it may be better this week. How'd you do with your face mask? Are you a pretty good face mask guy?
I do my best.
Okay, so let me ask you. Let's get a few pointers here. Okay, what do you do when it does the breathe-in thing on the mouth? What kind of face mask you got?
I got just one I bought off Amazon that goes around my ears and that kind of thing.
So the ears and then this, right?
Yeah. See,
I've got that face sock thing, which is good and bad. It sits right on your neck instead of hangs from your ear. But then, do you ever find that, and then pretty soon, those things will start to smell bad. And then all of a sudden you're going, what's that smell? What's going on out there? No, there's nothing going on out there. That's your breath. And then, now I need to practice with that. But what do you do when you're talking? Did you have a trigger or something that reminds you when to pull that thing back up? Because I found myself too preoccupied to do it, and then all of a sudden I notice it's around my neck there.
Yeah, I think everyone's different. So I was just curious what your thinking was. If it was some kind of statement, if it was.
I try to do my best with it, but once you're 6 feet apart, I can't help but wonder if some of this isn't an homage to politicians. So,
all right.
Yeah.
Mike Leach.
Classic Mike Leach right there.
He really turned the interview over to the interviewer.
Hilarious. I love that guy.
Yeah. All right. Troy, you have a 1-minute story?
Yeah, I'm fired up about the Bears. See if they can go 4-0. How about this story? So they're down in Atlanta last week. They have one shot. Nick Foles is in, and it's like 3rd and long. They've got, they got to score a touchdown basically to win. And he tells Anthony Miller in the huddle, He said, look, it's going to be an all-out blitz. I need you to run to the L. Go to the L. In the end zone, there's an ATL. And he said, run to the L. I'll have the ball there waiting for you. And I went back and watched the play. Anthony Miller runs straight to the L, catches it dead center on the L, on ATL, and gives Atlanta the L on that play. It was like old school backyard football. I don't know what play they called, but Foles just said, go to the L, and they're going to blitz. I'm going to throw it to you.
These coordinators are making way too much money because you're right. We did this in the yard. Hey, go to that second tree, and I'll put the ball
Foles
there.
is throwing off his back foot. It was an incredible pass.
Go to the L.
Yeah, loved it.
That's legendary. And another L for the Falcons, as you said.
Indeed.
They have been eating L's.
Can't spell Atlanta without an L.
That is very true. There's
Multiple L's
There's
right
one in
now.
Falcons, too. So.
Yeah.
All right, good stuff, Troy D.
Fun times. Enjoyed it. We'll see you again soon.
Got a big Friday edition of Pirate Radio Live on the way with Rick Smith, Morgan Ehlers, Tony Dunn from CarolinaCatChronicles.com, Brian North. And if you're listening to our live edition, a Pirate Radio podcast coming up with John Gordon, best-selling author and motivational speaker. So that's coming up with Ellerby at right now.
Yeah, I look forward to hearing this clip.
Troy, we'll see you again on Monday.
Sounds good. Well, I'll be here.
And Shirley, Chan Man, we'll be back 3 o'clock on Friday for another edition of Pirate Radio Live.
Thanks for listening to Pirate Radio Live, an exclusive presentation of the voice of the Pirate Nation. This is Pirate Radio, WGHB Farmville, 1250 and 92.7 FM Greenville, WDLX Washington, 930 and 104.1 FM Washington.